call in all your YouTube friends. And please remember to subscribe to both our YouTube and Facebook pages at The One Mic Show. We're now on Instagram at One Mic Show, and also follow us on TikTok. We're also taking in live calls tonight. 202-683-4570. Press star 5 to speak. The number again is 202-683-4570. Press star 5 to speak. And as we said earlier on, it's going to be a random Friday. It's been a while since we had one of these. We're going to be discussing many different things. Among them, now the first thing is that we want you to type in the comment section. Let us know what you want to talk about. But some of the things we want to talk about are some of the issues that were passing by while we were having, like very heavy discussions the last 3 weeks. Among them is the tournament happening in East Africa, CHAN, like that's happening in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. Then there were Kenyans who are being scammed. They were being scammed all over the place by this thing called LSSC. We're going to be talking about it and why has it become so easy to scam Kenyans, to scam African immigrants, like many people were caught flat-footed. We're going to be talking about that. And then there was a topic that also fell off the radar because we had so many other things that we were discussing, and this is NACADA. We're talking about the restriction of the marketing and distribution of alcohol in Kenya. Influencers being stopped from marketing alcohol and many other channels that advertise alcohol. We'll also be discussing that. And then there was the issue of Kenya being mentioned in the US Senate. A review is being done on our major non-NATO ally status, and we're going to talk about exactly what that means and why Kenya is on the radar and why it has something to do with China. So again, the number to call is 202-683-4570. Press star 5 to speak. And not forgetting, Texas is redistricting. They want to increase the number of Republican seats in Congress, and that will mean, like completely muzzling out the Democrats, despite the fact that majority of voters vote Democrat. So this is another thing that we're going to be talking about. Number to call, 202-683-4570. Press star 5 to speak. I can see Afro-Jamaican Kaiser Soze is already in the building. Karibu sana, Afro-Jamaican. Thank you so much for tuning in. Start dropping comments in the comment section below. Let us know what you want to talk about. Bila kusahau, tunapokea mziki toka DJ wetu Machachari, mleta habari DJ 𝘍𝘐 na kudunda kule viwanjani na Mika OJ zake nambari 7 mgongoni, akituletea habari za michezo na moja kwa moja toka Kilimanjaro Studios. Mimi mtangazaji na mwana habari wa kompendwa Ali Badawi. Kwetu wananiita mteule na wengine mnite mjukuu wa Masai, because I'm Kenyan by blood, American by design, Masai by choice. Sichagui, sikagui na sibagui. Karibuni.
Now let's talk politics.
Now, like I said again, this is going to be another random Friday. We're not going to be talking politics. We're going to be talking so many different things. Some politics, in politics, we're going to be talking about NACADA. We're going to be talking about redistricting in Texas. But then, of course, there's a tournament going on in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania right now, CHAN African Cup of Nations. This is a tournament for players who are playing in local teams in Africa. So quite interesting. And then there's the issue of Kenyans being scammed, LSSC. Like what do these acronyms mean? And exactly why has it become so easy to scam Africans, to scam Kenyans? Like you come up with any scheme and people are jumping in. Like it's the next best thing to toasted bread. So those are some of the things that we're going to be talking about. Number to call, 202-683-4570. Press star 5 to speak. Please drop a comment below. Tell us where you're tuned in from so that we can we'll know what conversation to have. And then another topic that I forgot that we also skipped and never talked about. Tanzania launched a quiet economic war on foreign businesses, mainly affecting Kenyans. That's another topic that we're going to talk about. Very hot in discussion. Off the headlines right now, but we just want to know exactly what it means for Kenya. And then, of course, the new controversial laws. They're not actually laws. They are proposals by NACADA that seek to restrict consumption, distribution, and marketing of alcoholic beverages in Kenya. So these are just some of the few things that we want to talk about. Again, number to call, 202-683-4570. Press star 5 to speak. So we're going to get started right away. I think we have DJ 𝘍𝘐𝘈 in studio and we have 𝘓𝘍𝑚ike in the building. Maybe in Tanzania, 𝘓𝘍𝑚ike,
Yes,
just
sir.
briefly tell us how was your week. You've been absent without apology for a couple of weeks. Tell us how things have been. Umekuwa wapi? What have you been up to? And talk about also the shows that we had the last couple of weeks. Ni kitu gani that excited you? What were people saying about them? 𝘓𝘍𝑚ike, twende kazi.
Well, let me say once again, asanteni sana. First and foremost, let me give a big shout out to the bandit himself, DJ Bandit Mubelo Awa Badio,
Super sub.
super sub. It is always good to have a super sub who loves, not necessarily being a super sub, but being that he loves media and journal and stuff like this. So for him, this opportunity, could not have found a better person to sub when the main player was out and about. But I definitely really did enjoy. I missed the presence physically in the studio, but while listening to you guys online was very refreshing. It's very different when you're not running the boards. When you wait for your turn to speak, it's quite interesting, but you learn as you go. Topics were amazing. I missed the Alex Chamoda one, 𝘍𝘐𝘈 one. That was interesting. I think you're gonna give us a report on that. It's like it happened and then now guys are not saying anything, but Rigiji is still punching. He's still doing his thing. And like it or not, ataskika hata kihuku tu watu wanababaika huko 254 Kasongo and them. So much has been going on, but again, I think we are coming to that part of the year where we'll take a long break to recharge.
Not a long break, a short break.
When I say a short break, when I say not like the one in December, but this one is short enough to recharge proper and a good one.
Yes.
Come back reinvigorated. But the most fascinating for me was the Chan commencement, the beginning, and I've learned something today, but yours how my week was, that's how my week was.
Yes, so and we're going to be talking about 𝘍𝘐𝘈 Chan. We're also going to be talking about the interview that we had last week. Like so many things happened after the interview, after it was posted. Like comments were coming hapa na pale,
left, right and center
about things that were being said. We're going to talk about that, but let's go to DJ 𝘍𝘍𝘈. DJ Machachari mleta habari, karibu sana ndani ya One Mic Show. How's your week been? And tell us like what you think about the past couple of episodes.
Mwanadhani sikia.
Hapana.
Useless.
Uko hapa.
Uko pale.
All I'm hearing is mkwapa. So
as you should.
Wow. The week has been the week. There's I think for a lot of people who basically work with the federal government or with wako kwa contracts manini, this has been a really trying time since I would say February until to date. There's been a lot of things that has been happening, a lot of high turnover, majobos, nini. So some of us are in that workspace. So unajua vitu kama hizo sometimes gives you heart palpitations, nini. But ni kama it's like we have gotten used to the, I'm going to call it the rigmarole that is Washington, D.C. Because huwa inakujaga na ma challenges zake. Most times when other parts of the country are suffering economically, as guys we're like, bado tuko poa juu kuna mtu anapiga anasign ma check. But now it's like this is the place that's suffering. So you can only imagine how is it outside. So how's the week been? It's been, topsy-turvy in some areas. We're still here.
Chungwa maana natuonesha vumbi.
It has affected our entire economy. This whole area has been affected. And it's been, been progressively declining since February. And more as we roll into summer is when you're actually seeing the effects, you notice maybe neighbors don't move around too much any longer. Hata kama walikuwa na magari mbili sasa ni moja. People are moving out of the neighborhoods. It's a very interesting to see some of those things which normally economics 101 of Stato has never affected this area the way it has this time around, because we just have, interesting things happening. And, to touch more on that, we saw that, what was it? Was it the labor secretary? The one who was dismissed? Was that the one? No, the person who does the figures,
the statistics,
statistics and nini of unemployment. That person is not doing their job. Toka hapa kwenda huko, hizo vitu zako ni mbaya, ni chafu. August 1. But they are the true numbers.
Yes.
And you didn't have a problem with these numbers before. So if you're seeing those sorts of things happening, ni kama kuna wase wanaangaliana na wanasema, geez, what the heck is going on? And something that a lot of folks in this area also may or may not be wary of, gava budgeting is coming. Upper September too.
Yes.
Which means, and then also the new fiscal year for the government starts in October. So they're funded until the end of the year, this year, which is basically end of 25. Then they now start 26 October. It's going to be a very interesting ride. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens with all of those, those things with this particular area, and then how the jostling that people are going to be having huko ma Congress nini wakianza kupigana hapo na kusema okay, do iko wapi juu mulisema mulikata kuna do like sasa hamuna do, sijui do imepelekwa huku ama tumedecide kufanya enforcement ya immigration. It's like some very, very interesting, things going down. So my week, other than those things you're hearing me talking about, has been, okay, we're surviving, we're here, we're back again. And I think I'd venture to say I'm looking forward to us breaking kidogo so we can reset our clocks.
And recharge.
Some of us are birthday boys in August. Apo, so unajua, the lion in us inatoka.
Yeah.
So pia
wengine September.
So yani basically at this point tukifanya summary sahi na nitoke hapa in the next 15, si kitu mbaya.
Okay. Now, to get us started tonight, I want us to talk about last week's interview with 𝘍𝘐, and we typically don't do this, but I think there were so many things that happened after that episode, after the show, and there was a lot of, like good compliments, negative compliments, a mix of both. And I just want us to go through some of the things that that we've had. Like personally, one of the things that I was consistently hearing now from people who are either making comments on the videos that we posted, because we cut up the videos and we posted them, or in WhatsApp groups, is like, okay, like this is interesting. Like I had never thought about these town halls the way you guys were talking about them, like formatting them in a way that they're beneficial to us. So it's kind of like people just used to attend, and this is what they found. They know that when these politicians come, we are gonna go herded like cattle, seated, we sit, we wait, a couple of speeches, and then the politician gives a speech, one or two people are allowed to ask questions, and then you go. But
and maybe in between you might get some sandwiches.
Yeah, if you're lucky, you might.
Depends on. Excuse me, yes. Madavi.
Yeah,
Madavi. No. Actually, they kuna time walikuwa me upgrade.
Ola?
Yes.
No, this time around.
No. Kuna time walikuwa me upgrade, wase walikuwa nakulaga ma sandwiches, manini, si ati madadhi.
Nadhabudha. So this time around,
there was even meals, man.
No, but this time around, guess what? The only meals that were there were air burgers. There was nothing. There was no food. In Matiang's at least I saw water.
But wasn't there supposed to be a charge?
A charge?
Yeah, for some of these meetings.
No, I think there's supposed to be donations for those who are sufficiently philanthropic and wanted to assist in the organization, because it takes money to put those events together. So was it that
they had different tiers of donations? So if you're this, you're that, or were those other things that we saw and we attributed them to these particular
No, there were like if you wanted to be a vendor, there were other events outside the town halls. If you wanted to have dinner
Got it.
and and they've been moving in different states, and I think different things have been happening in different states. But I think the DMV one, and not just because we're from the DMV, but the DMV one is the one that was being talked about because of the rattling that happened, especially the rattling that was done by 𝘍𝘐 and the questioning that was brought up front. Rigathi was supposed to have a meeting with Gen Zs the Wednesday that followed. It was cancelled with no explanation. Cancelled with no explanation.
Okay, so this is basically before Val came on our show.
Yes, that was before Val came on our show.
So that Wednesday.
Yeah. They're supposed to be having a meeting, but poof, disappeared, gone. No explanation. And I think part of, and that's why I say sometimes these meetings are meant to serve the politicians and not us. What Val did is exactly what they did not want in these meetings. And I'm sure, like other spaces, because I haven't watched the Minneapolis one. Matiang'i went to Minneapolis. I think Gachagua was in Kansas. I don't know what other place he's been to. He's going to LA this weekend.
He was in Texas too.
Yeah, he was in. Yes, he was in Texas too. He was in Dallas. I didn't see anything in particular out of the ordinary. So that's why I think it was refreshing to hear people say that we had never thought about these things the way you guys talked about them. Baba Maura called. Thomas Maura is the chair of the DMV Secretariat of the Matiang'i campaign. He called in, and that was, I found that very gracious of him, despite the fact that we were critiquing and we were just saying, what should have happened better. He called in, he called in and owned up to what was supposed to, and told us, what maybe might have gone wrong and what should be improved on the next time. But now the other thing, Omosh, that also happened, it's like there was kind of sort of there was still a misunderstanding. There was a misunderstanding of where, how do I put it, of what Gen Zs were saying and what grown-ups were talking about in terms of what Gen Zs want and what also grown-ups want. And I know, Omosh, you are following this conversation. So maybe just tell her, especially that part where you would see Val saying that this and this and this is what Gen Z wants. And you'd see, because Mubel was also on the panel, there was kind of like a difference in opinion of how things should be approached. DJ Moshfire.
I think I'd venture to say that having Val, talk or speak with what we've normally, what we've been normalized with, is that you would go for these events. There's already a set, I'm going to say script, or questions have come in ahead of time. So either A, the questions, or B, the people who are going to be asking and or speaking of. So the speaker or the person coming in, the politician, would have, they already know beforehand. So they can then answer those questions and so on and so forth. But this pretty much threw everybody off because it was random. And then it was, the questions were not comments, but questioning, either policy or direction that these folks, quote unquote, would be, are going on, and that's what basically threw everything off. Because normally from what we have seen, I don't know if I would say they are scripted, but there's some sort of control in terms of the people who are actually doing the presentation, asking the questions of the speaker. So that way you're not going against the grain of what they want to spell out, for lack of a better word, So it's almost like you agree with them and you're coming to help lift them up with those questions. as opposed to please give us answers as to why this has not been done, or you promised to do this and it has not been done.
Accountability.
And we didn't get the laptops yet. You said that, we're going to get laptops. That's why we voted for you. Something like that.
Okay. And again, the number to call is 202-683-4570. Press star 5 to speak. 𝘓𝘠𝘕 tuned in all the way from, she's saying she had to leave 𝘓𝘠𝘕 kicking and screaming. And she's reluctantly signing in from the Dari South. So karibu sana 𝘓𝘠𝘕.
Dirty.
Yeah.
But this is a question.
Why
Yeah,
is she reluctant?
so one of the areas 𝘓𝘠𝘕 is telling us to talk about is discussing the African Americans, Black Americans boycott of African businesses. That's something that has been happening widely on social media. I don't know how much of it is actually happening on the ground or how it's being felt by Africans who have businesses out there. So, maybe this is...
But the discussion is there, though.
Yeah, the discussion is there.
Yeah.
But would like to hear more from 𝘓𝘠𝘕, like in terms of the discussion, and if there's anything on the ground, especially on Africans who own businesses, if they're seeing anything, because this was supposed to start on August 1st. So this is like August 8th. So by now, if it was working, I think some African businesses should be collapsing, but we're going to have a discussion about that. And then the other thing that 𝘓𝘠𝘕 is saying that I don't think it's sustainable for Kenyans at home and abroad to constantly be consumed by political discourses from election to elections. Can't we occupy ourselves with development and good governance talk, especially at town hall scenarios? For how long should we be eternally lectured by politicians? I think the DMV has an opportunity because Baba Mwaura, rather let me call him Thomas Mwaura, Chair DMV Secretariat on the Matiang'i campaign, called us and promised us that we'll see something different. So this is an opportunity, and I think DMV might set the tone for the rest if we get the next one correct. I think because this discussion, this conversation has been thrown out there, and it is quite clear that people are not happy with the way these town halls are being conducted. They're just attending them and doing them because that's how they've always been done. But I think there's an opportunity here that we have to make a change. I think even before another politician comes, I think we need to have our own town hall without a politician, whereby we're calling Kenyans from different parts of the DMV. And this can be done in any other part, Atlanta, North Carolina. It can be done anywhere else, whereby Kenyans meet in that town hall format to discuss our issues in a way that we can send this message out there. Like all the issues we talked about last week, I think Omoshu talked about diaspora voting. You talked about double taxation. You talked about the issue of like kids who are born here, it not being easy to get documentation. There's of course the land issue that was brought up. I mentioned like the issues about keeping more of our remittances in our pockets by government taking care of business, by taking care of education, by taking care of healthcare, because that's where that's where a big chunk of diaspora remittances to go. This money could be staying in our pockets, or it could be going back to Kenya to other opportunities that can create employment. Imagine out of the 5 billion, the 2 billion that's going annually towards education, healthcare, and household expenses. If things were done correct, and then that 2 billion goes towards like entrepreneurship or business ventures
or something, yes,
that can employ tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people. That is where the economy is gonna start seeing big benefit from the diaspora. So if we could have our own town halls and have these discussions amongst ourselves, such that we give them to Rigathi, we give them to Matiang'i, we give them to Maraga, we give them to anyone, even Rao and Ruto. This is what people in the diaspora are saying, so that by the time they're coming here, they've already been fed with these conversations. They already know what we're talking about. They already know what we're discussing.
And also remember,
we
in the United States have the ability to vote. It's been fought for a long time.
Yeah.
I wonder where Kina, by the way, went. Peter Kerry went. Anyway, but you guys have been fighting for the right to vote, which we were granted.
Yes.
And after being granted, only maybe 1,000, maybe 300 in the DC area came to vote.
Yeah.
if you really want to see the value that the diaspora has, apart from the remittances that we send,
Yeah.
and I'm not even talking about guys flying in from Georgia, Texas, whatever. Let's say that's the DMV area. If registration is opened for people to come out and vote, all you have to do is register to vote. If you know, or if you think that by the time the elections will be happening and you don't want to travel, you can go and change your location for voting and say you want to change your site to the states, to DC, Washington DC, the embassy.
Yeah.
Can you imagine getting at least even, let's say, wait, how many are we in this United States of America? What is the number?
It's a controversial number. People
Just
come up with
give me
their
a
own
number.
numbers. Yeah.
What numbers have you had?
So I'll tell you the fake numbers and I will tell you the real numbers.
Yes.
So the fake number is that there's 1 million Kenyans in the US. That's the biggest, fattest lie that's constantly being quoted by many people, respectable people. Let me mention, no, there's no mentioning names of who quotes, but that's a fake number. We're not 1 million Kenyans here. I think we are at best case scenario, between 250 to 300,000. That's our best case scenario.
So out of that,
Yeah. You have to think of who's going to be over 18.
Yes, over 18, but I'm saying
in
that
2027.
2027.
So that's people born in 2009.
Yes.
People born in 2009 and after. Those are the ones who will be eligible to vote in 2027.
Right. So like in the DMV, I would love to get the number.
Yeah. So in
approximate number of DMV, just DMV. I'm not even looking at Texas.
So DMV, or my own guesstimate, I would say maybe we are maximum of 30,000. Out of those 30,000, maybe let's say 20 of that 30,000 will be eligible to vote. And to me, I am not. I like being a realist. To me, if we could get 10,000 people to register, not even only the DMV, across the whole of the US, that will be a good number.
Now,
yeah,
that is just state.
Yeah, that's just the US.
You have Canada,
yes.
Mexico,
yes.
Like you have other diaspora. So if those small numbers add up, how much of an influence would that have?
No, like I like being realistic. We had 10,000 across the world. I think 10,000 diasporans registered across the world, the entire world. That's including East Africa, Uganda, Tanzania, Burundi, Rwanda, Qatar, the European Union, UK, and other places where people could register. So I think if there are two things happening, if they open up like all embassies, by default, all embassies to become automatic polling stations, and then go beyond the embassies, we may, that 10,000 number, I'll be happy to see it get to 30,000. I do not.
So that it cannot make much of a dent.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
It's not that it cannot make much of a dent, is that the election will be close. So those numbers will be important regardless.
True.
Yeah. 50%, 50% plus one. If you're at 49%, then you're relying on the diaspora vote. I want us to be at least bigger than the smallest. I think we're already bigger than the smallest constituency as a diaspora internally. But I would like all the different pockets, like the European Union, the United States. I'd like each of these pockets to be bigger than the small constituency. Then at that point, we can give justification for
makes sense
for representation.
Right.
Because right now we're at a point, like we established from, just these town halls
without representation.
Yes, these town halls now Mika ameingia tutampatia chance from these town halls that we've had, and also from the episode we had last week, we've established that that people are going into these meetings not necessarily not knowing what the issues are, but they're going into these meetings not knowing what pertinent issues to bring up. People are just going there happy to meet a Kenyan politician and happy to socialize with other Kenyans, but there's no critical discussions on these are our issues as Kenyans living in the US. 𝘍𝘐𝘈𝘎, karibu sana. Talk to us.
Thank you, Ali. And what I would like to add to that is that, right now, when these politicians are coming right now, as us here in diasporans, we are eager to understand. We want to know what's happening on the ground, especially when those people are chanting one term against Kasongo or nothing on any. It's that excitement that you feel, that sense of wanting to feel that you're belonging, that's taking you to these town halls. And that's what's making us not be able to contribute justly or ask for more. But then I want to turn around and say this. We're not the first, we are the second contributor of foreign exchange in the country, right? By the money we send back in the country. The money that we, the diaspora, send back in the country is calculated with the budget of the country as expected revenue, and they plan on what development of what part of the budget is going to be sustained by that money that we're sending back. So even without just the ability of voting, we have a say by virtue of whatever we are sending back home, regardless of which part of the diaspora you are contributing to the GDP of the country, you're contributing to the economy of the country. If you didn't send that money back home, there would be a deficit in the budget. So that gives us the power to be able to demand and ask and force policy. Most people hold diaspora guys and tell them, you guys don't vote. Hamwezi vote. Mnapiga kelele ya nini? Guess what? You can't vote, but guess what? You control the most important part, which is the economy, which is the spinal cord of the country. If diaspora remittance was pulled back, there will be a very huge deficit in that budget. So we have to realize the power that we have. And as Aliyah said, we have to start talking about pertinent issues that affect us and what we want to see change in the country. Otherwise, we'll just be exploited day in, day out without realizing what part of the power we are. And the one thing is that we work in functional systems, so we know how functional systems work. If we understand how different functional systems work, what the US is missing, the UK has. What the UK is missing, the UAE has. What the UAE is missing, China has. What China is missing, African diaspora has. So as a collective, we have a lot of bargaining power and we have a lot of input to put into the country and what we want to be made to look different. Because sometimes we don't have to just be making noise, politicking and doing everything, but our day-to-day lives can contribute on how we can see a change in Kenya and improving the lives of people who we are helping in Kenya. We have a very strong weapon, which is the money we send back home. Don't underestimate that $100, that's $10, that $5 you send every week. Back to you in the studio.
Asante sana, Mika. Now, Mika, you bring up a very interesting point. Last week when we were having this conversation, you said you can never waste your time coming to these town halls, which was so profound. And I think it was a very important statement you're making, because I think I pay attention to what you say because you have a very realistic point of view from the ground, outside of those of us who are very maybe passionate about these issues, because I felt like that was reflective of a lot of people who are on the ground. They see these things as a total waste of time, and they would never, spend their Saturday or Sunday afternoon, go to some hotel somewhere, pay $40 for parking to go see some Kenyan politician. So what kind of thing do you think, or what kind of conversations, Mika, do you think we need to have to be able to at least move the needle a bit and make people understand that it's important for them to make their presence felt, even if it doesn't mean, coming for those town halls? What exactly is it that needs to be done, or what do we need to do?
First of all, give people a chance to be listened to. right? Because a lot of diaspora people feel like they're not listened to, like their voice is shut down, right? Hata hapa kwa show ukipatia JJ chance ya kuongea ataongea mpaka show ishe 3 hours zote poop right? Amalize kabisa because amepata chance ya kujiexpress.
Yes.
Diaspora people don't have that. We don't have the chance to express ourselves, right? You know, it's not that we are ignorant or stupid. It's that we are looking at where we come from and we look at where we are and we have a vision of this can actually work. If ABCD was implemented, this thing can work. So give diaspora a chance to be listened to. And when you listen to them, give them a chance to work with you on how to fix different things. Don't just say, give us your money, and then that's what we need from you. Apana. If these town halls were more of, I've gone to these town halls before. I've had somebody come in and talk about Baba Hanya. Tulienda town lingine moja kwa swali ya kabati. Right? Ndio swali ya kabati, o politician alimbrush off style ingine. I was like, he is a genuine thing because he has influence where he's from. And he will talk to the people who is from mtu alifanya na alikuwa anaulizia watu wake iko inamsaidia yeye. But then politicians come and hear you talking about ushago, anashanga mbona unashughulika na watu ushago. Ni kwa sababu sisi ndo tunasaidia watu ushago, tunajua shida wana go through hao watu ushago. So nikikwambia pale natoka ushago kwetu kwa hivi na hivi, how are you going to help these people to avoid these things? Nisikize. Because I carry the burden of making them survive through that disadvantage they're going through. So I'm not talking from a place of ignorance. If these town halls started doing that and listening to people, that's what I was telling you guys the other day. Tukisema tunaongea juu ya sijui issues mingi hivi hizo issues zitaisha if we don't tackle the corruption on the ground. Kwa sababu even though I want Kenya to work in a certain way, I know that if back home huko chini nyanya yangu atanunuliwa chumvi apige kura, then whatever we are talking up here won't work.
Interesting. Like very, very interesting. And I think I'm glad these conversations are happening 2 years before the election, because it is August 8th. I think election, I don't know, someone was a 2027 calendar, but this is election week in 2027.
Yes.
So we're exactly 2 years away. And I think these conversations from the diaspora, we need to have lots of them, such that they're out there, so that the next politician who's coming,
Next town hall.
and especially if you're labeling it a town hall. And I think also part of the problem, we sometimes blame politicians, but I think also part of the problem
It's us.
is the people who
who
organize these town halls. And again, we also can't blame them because they're using a template of what they've seen
Thank
before.
you. I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think it's about time we dare to think different. And this is where, like we're going to put, Baba Mwaura, like on his feet, because he's, like our elder out here in the DMV, like he's very respected. And he listens. What I like about him is that he listens to young people. They give a platform at Elimu Center in Baltimore for young people to come and do so many different things. So we give him
And
that respect.
he knows it. And chances are he's gonna pitch that to whoever he's supporting.
Yes,
In this
but
case,
now let's hope, because we know he's gonna do that. We know he's gonna do that. But let's hope the people who are, because the other group that's organizing it, they have to buy in from that idea. If people are still excited by this Tawala Kenya idea of, like bringing a politician as mame to a speech na nini, if they still want that, then that will be a problem. Because I think the bigger problem, like even by the people in that same team who initially, were trying to woo me in, but they're wooing me in, but are you gonna make him shine? And I'm like, my responsibility is not to make him shine. That is not helping him. That is not helping him as a candidate. It's not helping him. It's going to hurt him. In fact, I think this is the best time to have those moments like the viral moment that Val created, so that the politicians can prepare themselves now in future town halls. Do you know what I would like to see? The kind of town hall I'd like to see. Remember when in London, when Mehdi Hassan had Kina Kimani Ichung'wah and a couple of other. Now that is a town hall. That's what you call a town hall, where you have a number of people in the community, like speaking, and then of course having a moderator. It's okay to have an MC to introduce, to transition and everything, but I think the event should be controlled by a moderator. The number to call is 202-683-4570. Press *5 to speak. Hapa Esther Mulusa anasema from the Dari South anasema, I'm reluctant because I didn't want to leave Kakamega. I wish the money I wish the money to never come back here. Apo Esther, like
I wish I had the money. I'm assuming that's what you wanted to say.
I wish I had the money to, or maybe I wish I had the money to come back here. And then Esther further says, I like the model at Badawi is suggesting. We need to give them complete dossiers they can take home. We should stop these scripted Q&As. That exchange is getting tired. And then I can see also Stephen Batty also joined us from Texas and said these town halls are always orchestrated, like the one in Dallas recently. In fact, Stephen Batty, give us a call. Tell us what happened in Dallas. We were not there. We'd love to hear from someone who was in one of those other town halls. There was a 𝘍𝘐 town hall in Dallas. There was a Matiangi town hall in Minneapolis. Please call in 202
in Minnesota.
4570. Press *5 to speak. 202-683-4570. Press *5 to speak. So Apa Stephen Batty from Dallas, some of these town halls are always orchestrated, like the one in Dallas recently. It was all a setup because they did not know, or they knew that people were going to ask questions of some sort, and they only gave 3 people a chance to ask questions. And Stephen Batty is waiting on the line. Number to call is 202-683-4570. Press *5 to speak. We're glad you can only get like the position from the ground right here at the People's Kamkunji. We were not there in Dallas, but we have someone on board who was in Dallas and will tell us what happened there.
Thank you for calling the One Mic Show. Name and where you're calling from, I'm guessing.
This is Sambaza from the Sambaza podcast, calling in from Dallas, Texas.
All right, Sambaza podcast, karibu sana. Tell us what went down in Dallas. Yeah, we just saw pictures on social media, but we saw flyers. But what happened in Texas? We know a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a couple of months ago, Matiangi was there, and this past weekend, 𝘍𝘐 was in Dallas. So tell us what went down, Sambaza. Karibu sana.
So, first of all, for starters, as you know, Kenyan, we're always late. That's the first thing that annoyed a lot of people, but was not said. And again, I was trying to get a feel for what was happening before to what we're having at this time. Now, 2 hours we had to wait before they come in. He came in. They asked us to give them questions. Those who wanted to ask questions. And I think there were maybe like 10 people who volunteered to give questions in. All right. That thing ended like that. 2 hours later, the guy shows up. When he talking about interdenominational people, like when you go to pray. The pastor already started with a sermon and then started, trying to cleanse the spirits out there. And I was like, hey, Bwana, there are different people here in the spaces. Okay. That being done, they have this idea, and I think, Ali, we've been in these meetings when we met the ambassador at one time here online, and they wanted to speak to, like, the president. They're saying, oh, we represent this particular group, we represent this particular group, and this particular group, and that. So that was the mode that they came in, and they had the speeches crafted that way, and their questions were crafted according to their, I'm a representative of somebody. Sasa kuna representative wa Masai, kuna representative wa kutoka Mulembe Nation, then kuna representative wa kutoka Kikuyu Nation, then kuna Kisii Nation. Then you ask the question, what about us who are from other places? then we can have a Muhindi representation, another one from Northeastern, Garbatula, whatever, kutoka Lamu, and what have you, So you kind of have that idea of what are we doing here in terms of representation. Okay, now that you're going to talk about that representation, that when they're giving their speeches, it looks like they had their own agendas. Hata watu wengine hapo walikuwa wanaulizia kazi in that level. So they say their questions, Gachagua comes to talk. Now, one thing I know, Val is going to be a star for a long time because Gachagua remembers her up till today, and always talks about talking about her, and I've seen him talk about her in other speeches. All right, now I'll go back a little bit. When they brought an MC, the MC kept on saying, "Hey, we're going to give you guys are ready for questions. You guys be ready for questions." And you were like, "Okay, we're going to be given enough time to ask the questions." Gachagua comes in and talks and talks and talks and talks. You say you spill na kila kitu. When he finishes, then it's like, "Oh, let me get 2-3 questions here." Now, 2-3 questions meant 2 guys asking the questions, then one lady. And that was it. They were done. Another thing I noticed about that is when they were calling for the people for the Mlima, I'm going to use the word Mlima, who are going to take up positions in Kenya. I'm sorry to say, they were all coming from the central region. They did not have anyone coming off from another region other than the central region. So those who are going to fight for this party, going from, let's say from the Dallas area, let me put it like that, I'll be fair. From the Dallas area are going to be people from the mountain going that way. So people from diaspora. But other than that, there were good things being said. I totally agree with some of the policies that they were asking for to be done, and Gachagua said they're going to vouch for an embassy, actually a consular service here in Dallas, Texas, because they say it has a lot of people. Then they say they're also going to try to get in representation of the diaspora for the people in Kenya. So it's like to be represented, like before when they represent you by somebody who's not a diaspora. They want to represent somebody who's from diaspora. And then also find positions to put in there. Now, I had a question. Now, the one question I wanted to tell them is, and I think you guys will agree with me, we have sports. Nobody has talked about sports. You've just seen the other day this lady from Canada, from DRC, who was born in DRC, went to represent Canada. Now, that in itself tells you that the child had a chance to even play for DRC, but she's a Canadian. She chose the other option. But how many times have we seen Kenyan officials actually looking at sports as a way of bridging the gap? Because to me, and this is, I think I'm going to go slightly away and say this. We have these kids. They swim. My kids swim, right? Great swimmers. They're not going to make it to the Olympic team, but they probably Olympic USA team. But they could probably make it to the Kenyan USA team. But these people are not coming to look for them, or try to look for other kids that are out there, soccer players. And this is one of the ways that people will get that diaspora money to go back, because these kids will have friends who are in the diaspora, and they will be able to kind of bridge the gap, because let's say you play for the national team for soccer, swim, or volleyball, or even wrestle. There's a girl in here in Dallas who's a good wrestler, but she's in college now. These are the sports that if they're going to represent Kenya, they'll have a feel for Kenya and want to invest back home. But these guys are not thinking about that. They're just thinking about milking us, who, ikifika wakati, will be gone. Some will be gone. These kids will just be staying around here and be like, what do I have to go back to Kenya for? So these are some of the things that they need to look at on the other side. But like I said, we only allowed 3 people. I never got a chance to give you my question, and I kind of nilisikia kakitu hapo, but it is what it is. But overall, I'll say this. This sounded like a launch party for a political party. That's what I'm going to say.
Wow. Okay, thank you so much. You said it sounded like a launch party for a political party. That is...
Yes.
Yeah, that is... That is quite profound. But thank you so much, Stephen Batty, for that detail that you gave us about the Dallas event, 𝘍𝘐𝘕 town hall in courts. Do you think there's an opportunity that, or maybe if I can challenge you, Sambaza, to do a local town hall, even if it's with just a few people, whereby not necessarily with a Kenyan politician, but just people from Dallas, whereby you guys can discuss, these are our issues that we want addressed in Kenya immediately and all the way into the upcoming 2027 election. Do you think, because we are already thinking of one out here in the DMV, if Dallas does one, if Minneapolis does one, and if all the major hubs do one, and all this information is put together, at least such that when these politicians are coming, they know that they're coming to a place where people actually know what they're looking for. Do you think this is feasible for Dallas? Ama Dallas ni mji wa sherehe?
No, it's very feasible. I mean, you just have to get the right people and who have the right mindset, not the ones who are here, looking for jobs. I'll be kind of frank. Some of them are looking for jobs, but I'll have to highlight this one lady who talked about something to do with autism, and this one was very profound. She has a child who has autism, but what she has said is, with autism, whatever she has learned, that is what she would like to help people in Kenya with autism. Now, that would be a cause I'd say, okay, sawa, they're trying, to get something to help people out there, and this is a program. You see, something like that, thinking about policies to help people. I think if you get the right mindset of people and sit them down and ask questions, that will be great. Oh, and before I finish, there was one question 𝘍𝘐𝘕 was asked by this guy. He was asked about the previous elections, the 2020 elections. He was asked if Raila refused the elections and what have you. Then he asked 𝘍𝘐𝘕 if he's going to accept defeat in the upcoming elections, elected, and he goes to the polls. And that was a good answer. I don't think he answered it well. I kind of think that he kind of dodged it, like he was going to accept or not. But from where I stood or what I heard, he didn't answer that question well.
Okay.
So iko kitu hapo.
Okay, yeah. Sawa.
But on that thing, out of the small 𝘠𝘠𝘶𝘶𝑚,
yes.
I think it's possible. We can do that and have something going.
Okay. Sambaza, I will leave you with that challenge, and I will follow up, because we're looking to see if we can do our own here, such that we actually throw in that idea of changing formats for when these politicians come, because it's the same format. Clearly, from what you've said, it was the same format, and people are tired of these formats whereby we are enticed to go like it's a town hall, and then when we get there, we find that it's just speeches and more speeches and more speeches, and then 2 or 3 scripted questions, and then things are done, which is not any helpful to us. Asante sana, Sambaza. Thank you so much.
Good show, guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So maybe let me just come to the studio, and maybe let's just react to what Sambaza just said about Dallas. Is there any surprises, about the event? Anything maybe that he said that got you thinking, maybe that was different from the DMV? Uno, let me start with you, and then we're going to go to Omosh, and then we're going to go to
Not
Mika.
really. I mean, what I would be interested in seeing. You guys have you been seeing the latest town halls by these 𝘍𝘐𝘈 clans when they go back to their districts?
No, those ones, they're always taken down. They don't like going back to those town halls.
No, but there's footage, like Mike Flood of Nebraska or whatever, like what's going on, because people are asking him and questioning him specifically about, him voting, against Medicaid, SNAP, whatever he's voting, whatever Donald Trump says and stuff like that. So there's a lot of anger. And these are the voters. Ask your voters. It would be and that is why I think I go to your suggestion of having the town halls and the format changed.
Yes.
And definitely convert it, have it changed to where it's these are the questions, ask them. You ask, and people answer.
Moderator based.
Moderator based.
Yeah.
Period. And that should actually, like you said, you know how there's a template, people copy, paste, and ask. But it should change. And I think whoever is the next presidential or aspirant, because I think only aspirants who are running for president usually are the ones who will come to let's say Stato.
Yes.
Maybe Canada, depending, but let's talk about Stato because this is where we live.
Yeah.
Mostly people who are aspirational
Yeah.
are the ones who are going to come and visit.
Yes.
Because
for the most
not
part.
only, I think Mika mentioned this, it is more about funding than vote.
And that right there is because they're not saying that, but
It is
low-key,
more,
low-key,
it's
that's what
about
they're
its
looking
funding.
for. So that's what politicians are looking
AKA
for.
raising money.
Raising
Yes,
money.
AKA,
Yes.
you know what, PESA.
That's what politicians
And I think that's
are
what
looking for.
Mika, that's what Mika had mentioned some time back, because most of these guys, kusema ukweli,
So these town halls, Tunambwani town hall,
Lakini, if you look at
it's
it-
not really a town hall.
there's a gift, chapa gift ya $50, or there's a whatever.
Your chapa gift here $50 is what we can see.
Mm-hmm.
There's those private dinners.
Yes.
Those private engagements.
And it is
2000
that
boba
is
plate.
where like money is being
that is okay.
pulled out.
That is
Yeah.
fine, because guess what? Even here, they have those dinners.
Correct.
The mayor of Baltimore is having one. Like most of these presidential, or most of the guys who are running for any type of office,
For higher office.
or whatever,
Yes.
are gonna have a dinner. They're gonna have a come together, a soiree, whatever it is. But it's more. You pay.
But where money is being involved, it should be public. The public should know. These people, like from the diaspora, bought each of them bought a $2,000 plate of mandazi to go see politician X.
Excuse me. Why can it not be Mahamri or something? Something with
Whatever it is.
Mandazi,
It could-
the Buddha.
It could be Gatheri. It could be anything.
And by the way, that is
Yeah.
very good.
I agree. That's
Site-
what I'm saying. It could be
Saitan.
Gatheri. It could be
Yeah,
Gatheri.
but ideally,
but because right now
it's PESA.
those meetings,
It's funding.
yeah, we don't want to talk about them, but they're happening.
No, it's
and,
funding.
and they're happening secretly. So there are people, because these guys,
I think you're the one who brought it up. You and
Yes.
Mika brought that up because, and even Omosh mentioned the fact that we sent how much? We send how much per month?
No,
whatever per year.
annually it's $5 billion US.
It was a lot.
630 something
660 billion.
660 billion Kenya shillings. So at some point it's gonna get to $1 trillion.
Yeah.
And that is what the diaspora, not Stato. Or is it just Stato?
No,
that's the diaspora.
The diaspora.
That's the
So
that amount to is like 55%.
So, and that is why, and that is all that they're seeing. The politicians.
Yes.
That's all that they're
That's
seeing.
all they're seeing. But
Yes.
now they know what they're seeing. But we also have to, because they're coming here for money, we also have to demand. We have to make them see what we want to be seen.
So let me ask, do you think Martha Karua, by her assertion or statement that we can be influential in influencing our people back home in who to vote for or where to direct our votes?
Is it we can or we are?
No, that's what are we? Can we
Yeah.
be?
We are.
I think,
Okay.
yeah,
We are.
I honestly
So-
think we are.
We are very, very influential because
So that is why, I mean, because think about it. If we are influential like that, then even if we are, let's say, 30,000 in the US, we could probably be commanding 300,000, depending on the people that we have in our families and lineage and people who listen to us.
Yeah, because now look, if you're 30,000 voters in 30,000 voters in the US,
Let's
that's
give
that's
let's
a bit
say
of a stretch. Let's call it 10,000.
in the US.
Yeah,
Okay, sawa.
let's hope we get 10,000 registered
In the
voters.
US. Okay,
So
sawa.
those 10,000 registered voters, I think each of them, by the time someone is motivated to register to vote, they're most likely supporting someone back home. They're most likely paying someone's fees. They're most likely paying someone's medical bills. So these people, whether you like it or not, they will listen to you. And it's us sometimes who assume that they don't listen to us, but they will listen to you. So if you're supporting, so imagine 10,000 people, if each of the 10,000 voters can influence 4 voters. That's gonna be 40,000 voters. Just 4. Let's not even go very far. That's 40,000 voters.
Let's say 2.
Yeah. So we're talking about 50,000 voters in an election that's decided by very slim margins.
And that is just state.
Yes, that's
we don't know what
state.
Canada can influence. I was talking to my brother.
Oh, Canada. The thing about this is this. If you've realized, they are willing to give Europe they were willing to give Europe an accessible voting station, because in Europe, one thing is that as long as you have a permanent residency, if you're in Europe, you can go to any country.
Yeah, the Eurozone.
And traveling within Europe is very easy. So they were willing to facilitate several voting embassies in Europe, but huku tukapewa moja.
Tatu.
Yeah, tatu that didn't work.
Yeah.
Alafu kumbuka Dubai na Qatar wakanyimwa.
No, Qatar walipata.
Qatar walipata, but Qatar walipata, yeah.
Qatar walipata. Dubai, I don't know whether Dubai got one. Did Dubai
wakupata, Dubai wakugeta.
Okay.
Na huko ni wengi. Unaona? So we have to look at also the acceptance of these polling stations zilikuwa strategic in a way whereby they say we've given you a place to vote, but we're limiting you on how to vote. So many countries out here vote. In the Philippines, their diaspora vote a lot. They vote a lot of them. Like vote yao ni vote moja heavy kwa ina kampeniwa sana. Right?
South Africa,
yeah. We can tap in to voting resources that are already here in America to help us in vote. So tuache kulia story ya cost, because the companies that run the ballots here can run the ballots for us.
Who are they?
So the question is, like IEBC typically comes with all these stringent rules that we can't do this out of an embassy. So this also has to be done through parliament. There's actually a group that I'm part of that has been working on lobbying parliament to create laws that will facilitate this, such that IBC will not come up with an excuse that the law says or this and that says. Because part of the excuse that IBC is coming up is that according to the laws or regulations, you have to vote on Kenyan soil, which is just within the Kenyan embassy. This can be cured by legislation or just by an approval from parliament or something. So there's a group that's actively working on this, and the group had a very interesting proposal that I'd not thought about. Rather than demanding for representation, because that's a far stretch and will most likely not be allowed, is demanding that political parties, the way political parties are required to have a list of nominees in different groups, disability, women, diaspora should be one of those categories as a marginalized group. So diaspora should 100%. Be one, and they should prioritize. You see, like there was someone who just got into parliament after IBC came in the seat that Mbadi resigned from. Mbadi was nominated. There's usually a list. And now the new system is that you have to give the list and the one who's number 1, number 2, number 3. So this guy was the one next after Mbadi, and he got approved by IBC, and he's now in parliament. So it's like that's a more viable way to get multiple diaspora people in parliament. So all parties, whether in ODM, UDA, DCP, whatever, if you guys are serious about diaspora representation, how about you nominate people on your lists in diaspora and put them high up so that tuko na watu kama 4, 5, 6 people in parliament as nominated members of parliament. Now, once we have them in there, then it might be easier to fight for the representation part.
Makes
whereby
sense.
in a future election,
It makes sense.
then we can vote for someone to go represent us in Nairobi. Kuna a lot of comments that have been coming in on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. Kwanza,
Yeah.
It's like, are we being spammed?
Yeah, YouTube is on fire.
Gypsy's Corner.
No, Gypsy's Corner. I mean, I love Gypsy's Corner. Gypsy's Corner is paying attention, giving us his comments. Kwanza, there was a comment that came from Bakora. Bakora nasema, bring on board the potential candidate. Remittance is up there. Hii pesa lazima tupange. Now, Gypsy Corner anasema, the show is fire. Anasema, I have also had the 1 million crap. That's regarding the number of Kenyans in the US. Of course, there's no 1 million Kenyans in the US. And then anasema, Gypsy Corner anasema, the last remote voting we did, even though traveling 200 miles to participate, some of us were told that our votes were void due to the system. I call it rigging. And then Gypsy Corner further says this time is already advanced rigging. With that, I will be locking my vote in a safe and throw away the key. So unaona sasa.
Gypsy Corner usifanye hivyo.
Gypsy Corner.
Just go vote.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, and then hapa Bakora anasema, Bakora lakini wewe ulimpiga nani? Bakora anasema Kenyans are accommodative people. Just run around and you will value the society Kenya is. And then hapa Bakora further says we have had a pranking politicians around policies. I'm not sure what that means. And then let me see. Gypsy Corner sema we should act as Kenyans, not where individuals come from. I agree with Gypsy Corner. And then Bakora nasema launch a party in thousands miles away. It is an effort. Elite Kenyans abroad will always complain on comforts of lounges. And then hapa Bakora nasema Rigiji anatoka Kenya bado mtaka awapange. What's our value organization? And then Bakora nasema Omosha will call in good engagement always. So Bakora, the number to call 202-683-4570. Press *5 to speak. Again,
Say it again.
Number to call is 202-683-4570. Press *5 to speak. I know Rigiji was also in Kansas. I know Rigiji was also in Minneapolis. Rigiji is going to be going to LA. So anyone who was in any of these venues where, of course, we did not have a chance to go, just like Sambaza podcast, please give us a call and tell us, what you got there. Maybe, there's a place where people got value. We want to get the positives too. And Sambaza, also, mention some of the positives that were mentioned there, including creating consulates in places like Dallas, where there are so many Kenyans and the like. Mike.
I need to do this as a segue because you've mentioned Rigiji.
Yeah.
And the way the two as is he's doing.
Yeah.
There is the non-NATO ally status.
Yes.
There's a clip of Rigiji circulating where he calls out Ruto for having meetings with Al-Shabaab. Night meetings.
Wait, that one I missed. What did he say? That one I totally that's one that
it
I
is
totally missed.
He is. I'm gonna look for it and I'll play it.
Okay, but what was the essence of what he was saying?
Why are you meeting with Al-Shabaab organizers in the middle of the night?
And what did he mean by Al-Shabaab organizers?
Guys who are Al-Shabaab. Because now we're talking about security. Because remember now he's talking about... So Ruto has gone out and talked about creating a new allegiance or alliance with China. Not only, economic, but other things. And this has brought attention to the statement that he made with the US Senate,
Okay.
right? You haven't heard that? I'm gonna look for that. I'm gonna look for that because it's a clip of 𝘍𝘐 talking about questioning, and of course it goes further to now the not admittance but giving or allowing or not the non-vetting. We've had this discussion about the non-vetting of Northeastern.
Yes. Yeah. And that's a hot potato.
It's a very hot potato.
Yeah.
But he's mentioning. I'm gonna. You know what? I should have queued because the reason I didn't even. It's the segue that has just. You're talking about 𝘍𝘐 because we were just going to address the non-NATO ally and looking at the Senate. And they're going to reevaluate based on what Ruto talked about in a speech and addressing and saying how Kenya and China, they're even forming an alliance to even attack or get into a new frontier.
Yeah, so I think for clarity, like for people maybe who've not been following this issue, because this came from the Senate actually.
Yes.
And we have a U.S. senator by the name John Risch, who's the one who triggered this review. So Kenya, was officially granted major non-NATO ally status by President Biden in last year, June 2024. This was after that very embarrassing state visit that was here that people were, ogling about. But yes, so that's when Kenya was granted a non-NATO ally status. This made it the first sub-Saharan nation to earn this designation, which is a move that's typically aimed from the US side to deepen security cooperation and counter Chinese and Russian influence, especially in the region. So that's a very key part of being a major non-NATO ally, which Kenya was designated. So, of course, there were concerns, emerged, and U.S. Senator James Risch had concerns regarding Kenya's expanding ties with China, Russia, and Iran. And statements made by President Ruto praising China as a co-creator in what's called a new world order. And this is a problem, like with Ruto, like when it's read statements, you can tell that hii ni kitu mtu alimwandikia. He doesn't have that aura of especially for people who know him, to make it seem like this is something that he could have said. And I think some of those big words that, especially that speech that he went and gave when he was in China, this is what created a lot of concern. And this senator cited partially because this major non-NATO ally designation comes with privileges such as getting, some extra US military equipment, getting, like a lot of intelligence assistance, and a lot of other things that come with it. You have nations like Qatar that have been with that designation for a long time. Kenya is fairly new to it, but then you also have to do US's bidding. And then you also have to, kind of guarantee US that we are not going to be mixing up with the Chinese and the Russians. So that review, it basically encompasses, it's a review within 90 days of the law's enactment of the Secretaries of State, Defense, Treasury, and the Director of National Intelligence. Then there will be a detailed report within 180 days. So this is still in very preliminary stages. So within 90 days, there will be that classified review, and then we expect a comprehensive report within 180 days. And key areas that will be focused on in that scrutiny includes engagement with U.S. adversaries. That's Kenya's military, political, and financial dealings with China, Russia, and Iran, especially since gaining that status in June of 2024. And then the other one is extremist affiliation, possible relationships with groups like Somalia's 𝘍𝘐𝘈 and Sudan's Rapid Support Forces, RSF. I mean, we of course saw the RSF,
the
launch,
video there.
their constitution in Nairobi.
KICC.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's the use of US aid and intelligence, concerns about misuse of American security assistance, including allegations of civilian abductions, which is very interesting, torture, and extrajudicial actions. So this is very interesting. In fact, I'm going to go back and engage back with Val with what the 625 movement is doing, because I think Val talked about Ruto violating something called the Leahy Act, which is something that we're going to talk about. And then there's something that's also it's titled as Financial Risks and Transparency, where whether Kenya is serving as a financial haven for sanctioned individuals or groups, and its debt exposure through Chinese investments and the Belt and Road Initiative. Hapa sasa Ruto atakabwa, because the political consequences might be, but do not only include, if the review maybe finds cause for concern, Kenya risks losing some key privileges it got with that status. That includes access to U.S. military loans, grants, and surplus equipment, eligibility to hold U.S. war reserve stockpiles on Kenyan soil, and then cooperation in research and development, joint military trainings, and defense and supply advantages, and then also bidding privileges on U.S. Defense Department contracts outside of the U.S., and then ability to purchase specialized munitions like depleted uranium rounds. Now, this is where we are. And let me now just throw this to the floor.
Now, before even you throw it to the floor,
yes,
here is a clip.
William Ruto, you need to know, the Americans want to know why you are working with 𝘍𝘐𝘈. Why, when you are in Mandera?
Hold on. Let me.
William Ruto, you need to know, the Americans want to know why you are working with 𝘍𝘐𝘈. Why, when you are in Mandera, you met 3 leaders of the 𝘍𝘓 militia at night to discuss business with them. They want to know why. They also want to know why you have removed the requirement for vetting of non-Kenyans before they are given IDs. The Americans are concerned that suspected terrorists will be registered as Kenyans, and they will find their way to America and the rest of the world and create terror in the world. Your decision to suspend vetting of foreigners before they are given registration in Kenya is a threat to world security. And not just the Americans are concerned, Kenyans are concerned too. And this you must answer. You cannot endanger the security of the world because of your business interest. It is true you are doing business with 𝘍𝘓, but you cannot endanger world security. The Americans also want to know why, against the Kenya Constitution, you have become the worst violator of human rights in Kenya. Why are you abducting young children? Why are you killing young children? Why did you abduct American, Turkey nationals of American origin?
Yes.
okay.
So now,
no French.
So now,
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
That's Rigiji.
That is those are very explosive allegations.
It does. And remember, you remember the expose that was done that tied Kenya to, is it RSF?
To RSF. The expose was RSF.
Yeah, RSF.
Like Kenyan ammunition.
Yes, that one
was found, like in fighting zones.
Yes,
in
yes,
Sudan.
yeah. And then, guys, so I'm tying that into now the non-nation, the non-NATO ally, the non-NATO but ally status, and these guys are looking, and you've read about it, like association and affiliation.
Yeah.
Ruto.
I mean, I'm not here to hold brief for Ruto, but these are very dangerous allegations that Rigathi is making, especially when where he's talking about that he met with 3 leaders of Al-Shabaab at night in Mandera. Maybe there's something he knows, but if this is the case, he needs to present this in a formal way, even if it cannot go through our court process. But that's a very explosive allegation. Now, the claim that that foreigners are being, the vetting was for foreigners to acquire Kenyan IDs. I can't remember what words he used, but use the word foreigners, and that right there, sasa hiyo hapo ndo ndaita xenophobia. I will call that xenophobia, because Rigathi is playing this game of dividing Kenyans. He understands the subtle xenophobia that's there against Somalis. So when he uses words like foreigners, to mean, the Kenyans who've been denied IDs in Northeastern Province for years, that is just talking xenophobia. So I think, I mean, I know, politically, those are very charged statements.
Very charged.
But I think also, Rigiji now is walking into very, very dangerous territory. By what he's doing. I would not be surprised, if the president went and met, people, because he is already in business with RSF. I mean, I cannot claim that he met with Al-Shabaab because I don't know. But Rigiji is making that claim, and he said they were meeting for business.
And don't forget,
that's a bit explosive.
Like in situations like this, circumstances like this, what I always look for is the counter. You can't accuse me of stealing and then I be quiet. I'll ask you, okay, you did. Show where is the proof? But if I go quiet, because sometimes when you go silent, politically, we're talking about politics.
Yes.
Yeah, going silent means kuna kitu
means kuna
kitu naficha.
Yeah. I mean, I won't be surprised. This is Ruto.
Because
I won't be surprised.
Has he ever come out to counter the claim of the documentary or the expose that was done about the RSF and Kenya?
I think the Ministry of Foreign Affairs may have said something, if I'm not mistaken.
You see?
Yeah.
Because even if they did, it was nothing substantial, because they may have.
Yeah.
We don't even know.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like to come out and vehemently say, like now, tunajuanga Orange Man and with Jeffrey Epstein, what does he always say? Whatever. Even but as much as he denies.
You see, there's a theory that is being fronted by, and this is a theory, so don't take it as fact. It's a theory being fronted by a lot of people, a lot of political insiders, who are saying that Rigiji may actually be Ruto's project.
Okay.
He may be Ruto's project. And it's a theory that's being fronted, because here's the deal.
Make the theory make sense.
So Ruto understands that he's lost the Mount Kenya vote.
Okay.
Yeah. Like almost completely lost it.
Yes.
So he has an understanding.
Imeenda.
But now his team is thinking, now that we've lost this vote, where would we rather this vote go? Would we rather give it to Rigiji, make Rigiji a candidate and Mount Kenya votes for him? Or would we rather Rigiji takes this vote somewhere else, to somewhere else that potentially, tuseme Rigiji amwe kupeleka hizi votes kwa Kalonzo, and Kalonzo potentially defeats Ruto in 2027. Because think about it. Ruto, knowing where he is right now with his lack of popularity, he would rather 𝘍𝘐 runs for president and keeps those votes to himself. So that ensures that there will be a second round in the election. Rather than if 𝘍𝘐 gives to, like another, not necessarily strong candidate, another fairly strong candidate, let's say Kalonzo. 𝘍𝘐 amwe, ndampatia Kalonzo hizi votes zote za Mount Kenya.
Ruto is like LSSC. Ruto is LSSC.
Are you saying it's fake?
Like a nonsense.
And that's why that theory, it may be
That theory
it may be a viable theory.
in on paper is just a theory.
It's a theory, yes.
Just like LSSC selling people scooter shares and
Yes.
lighting shares.
Yes. Now before we get to the LSSC,
And I was doing that as a segue because it came in right on the mark.
yes, but before we get
Because
to the
Mudo na yoyo.
yeah, Mudo na yoyoma ndio, before we get to the LSSC,
Because but that theory,
because think about it, why would let's say like they, of course 𝘍𝘐 is not supposed to run because he was impeached,
yes.
but
I think there was a court ruling.
there's
the
a
other
court
day.
ruling.
There was a court ruling
Le-
that upheld his impeachment.
but there's still a case in court about
it
it.
still is.
So let's say this thing is overturned. Where is Ruto's interest? Would Ruto want, think about it right now, would Ruto want 𝘍𝘐 to run in 2027 or not? And maybe sasa hapa Mika kama bado huko,
No, it's not. Mika is
Fire,
not.
chime in.
Me personally, as a Murima person,
Yeah.
adutaki Murima, any person from Murima running. Because one, we don't have one.
So let me ask you, what if 𝘍𝘐 runs?
Guys, no, people will be like, no.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure,
Okay, good.
but
I-
no.
yeah.
By the way, no. At this juncture, we don't want anyone.
No, but
As a Murima.
I get it.
But if he runs,
but let's
Aki,
say by theory,
if he runs,
yes. Yeah.
if he runs
yeah.
and Ruto runs,
Yes.
Ruto gets another term.
And that's why I'm asking you, what is Ruto's interest? It is for 𝘍𝘐 to run.
Yes,
Yeah.
but if 𝘍𝘐 is smart, he won't run.
Okay.
Neither will anyone from the mountain. In fact, if anything, and we're having this discussion with Babahanya and some other guys, because I was listening, like unakaa na wazee unasikia.
Yeah.
They're saying, hata Kalonzo runs, and let's say select Martha or Natembea
Yeah.
or someone.
Yeah.
And then, because right now,
So
currently,
if 𝘍𝘐 doesn't run, who does he give his votes to?
if he doesn't run,
Yeah. Who does he give his
if
votes to?
he will give his votes
Who
to,
does he give Murima to?
he will give his votes to the unanimous consent. Because they're having
Are you saying the unanimous opposition?
unanimous opposition.
Opposition candidate.
Yes.
But you and I know there will be no such thing as a unanimous opposition.
No.
candidate.
When you say you and I both, no. Me,
No,
I
we
know
all
there
know.
is.
No, we all know. There's what's being said, and then there's the reality.
We'll wait.
Who do we have on board? We have Kalonzo.
Uh-huh.
Kalonzo is definitely running.
Okay.
Like no doubt, regardless of who.
That is Karonjo.
Who, regardless of who wins.
Uh-huh.
So
Matiang'i.
Matiang'i will also run.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
he's Uhuru's candidate.
Uh-huh.
That's already two.
Uh-huh.
There's a possibility that Rigathi.
No, let us
will
just
also
let us correct something. Allegedly, he's Uhuru's candidate. Carry on.
No, he's Uhuru's candidate.
Let's allegedly.
Yeah.
No, you don't have facts.
So Rigathi.
No, let us say allegedly.
You can say allegedly.
No,
but
I will
let
say
me-
allegedly. And
yeah.
no, those are at least.
Can we move on?
Yeah.
Those are-
Muda in a.
Those are
Yeah.
at least thoughts.
So I think.
So
there
who's
will
the other
be-
one? There's
I think
Madakarua.
there will be at least, at the bare minimum, there will be at least two major candidates, and then you cannot forget the Maragas
all-
and the Omtatas.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
we're not. I'm talking. I'm thinking that there are those ones.
Yeah.
But the coalition, because I'm looking at the grand coalition
Yeah.
of Mother, Rigi, when I say Rigi, I'm saying DCP,
Yeah.
then Mother's Party, Matiangi's party.
Yeah.
So far, those are the Karojo, Wamalwa. So
Who was
once,
in that meeting?
So once those three, once that group decides on
Natembeya. Natembeya.
Natembeya is part of the group.
Is part of the group.
I don't think he was.
No, he wasn't.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if he is.
Yeah.
But if they all decide to have one person, if they meet together and decide one candidate, and then they throw their weight behind that one candidate, because that was what Mother said. That's what Mother Karua said.
Yes.
So if they all agree, then they're going to, because they really want to make this guy one time. So
their goal is to remove Ruto.
So if right now the guy who stands the best chance is Kalonzo.
Okay, fair enough.
He stands the best chance to be the flag bearer. Whoever is his second, maybe that is where now there needs to be negotiation, because it could be Mother.
Yeah.
It could be Natembeya.
Okay.
Well, Martha told us she wasn't going to be a second.
No, she would be a second. So if she's not a second,
she said she's not going to be a running
so that might leave,
throw her weight behind whoever the consensus is.
So that might be,
again, assuming that the opposition then now decides that they're going to have one candidate, because they may disagree.
Yes. They may disagree.
And everybody goes kivyake. Sasa you
and that is what Ruto is hoping for, because if he gets that and everybody splits, who knows?
Now, the reason why I think there will not be one consensus candidate is because this coming election will likely be decided in the second round. So if you had not thrown in your heart to fight in the first round and to show I have 20% or I have 30%, now in that second round, you're not even going to be on the table. You won't be there. And now, where I think it might be a sink or swim strategy is if there is, first of all, we don't know if Baba will run. I think there's a very high chance that Baba will run.
A little buddy was telling me that the setup is such that Baba will be, the scenario is to show fragmentation in the bread-based government.
Yeah.
Baba steps aside.
Yes. And
Baba
then this
runs.
will keep ODM folks happy.
Yes.
Yeah. Because ODM folks are upset with broad-based.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then once that happens, then that way it's a ruse.
Because both Ruto and Baba just need to be in the top 3.
Yes.
And that's the ugliest part about having they only need to be in the top 3.
Yes.
You don't even need to perform well.
Yes.
They only need to be in the top 3, because let's say Kalonzo is number 1, Ruto is number 2, and Baba is number 3. See, they will go back to that boardroom and create now a formal broad-based.
Yes.
And then go to the runoff as one unit. And now Baba will come back and say, but si niliwaambia mimi nilikuwa nimetoka, lakini sasa because nilikuja nikakuwa namba 3 ikabidi tuungane tena. So that's a possibility. That's what might happen, because they realize the discontent that's there in ODM. So if he bolts out to run, it may stop the bleeding in ODM and may even bring back, like some of those people who had exited ODM. Like finally, Baba has cut ties with Ruto, but this might just be a temporary move, such that let's go get the top 3 and then tukutane huko
mbele.
Yeah, tukutane huko mbele.
Bro, so, and it's only 2025.
It's only 2025.
It's only 2025.
This is gonna be very ugly.
I think. Okay, so I was listening to. I'm gonna use a football analogy over here. And by the way, what's going on with the Commanders? Surely you guys are gonna let Nani, your wide receiver, just bounce like that?
No, we are busy. We are thinking about the stadium.
Sorry. So I was talking to Relu. I was listening to Relu. He's talking about, like the way he had studied Peyton Manning. There's a 40-second clock before you snap the ball.
Yeah.
Correct.
So what he realized was, say, until the 10-second whatever, anything that he calls on the line is
It's
garbage.
Yeah.
Msema kweli is when he gets under 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And that is the call. That is now what, then once he hears that, he tells his defense, we gadhe, uwe nataka kufanya hivi, haya kani chonjo, umse vile anafanya inaonekana atafanya hivi. And usually, Ray was right, sometimes right. You could miss the tackle, you could miss the ball.
A lot of times he was right.
Yes, he was right, but sometimes you just
people
miss.
nonsense.
But he would fake a lot of people because you'd give so many faults, whatever. Same thing. It's 2025. Boss. 2027 January.
That's when the real signals will be
That
made.
is when now you know.
Yeah.
Mbivu na mbichi.
Yes.
When the
That's
rubber
when
meets the road.
that's when the real signals will be made. But
Right now, like even these my allegiances, my sijui what, my K, you know what, natembea, whatever. Who knows? Again, somebody once told me, I think it was John Dennis Maganda,
yeah.
aka Saguru, once said, politics in Kenya, one day is a lifetime.
It sure is.
Lifetime. LSSC, oh sorry.
Yeah, so Gypsy Corner hapa anasema Kenyans we are forgetful and amnesia kicks in
Like
during
a
election
nonsense.
time.
Like a nonsense.
And then these opposition leaders have earned Ruto a second term. And to me, my concern that I see, especially with Murima, is that watu wanapangwa, you know, like and what I'm fearful of is Murima was so excited with Ruto, you know, like when they started getting upset at Uhuru, and they decided to vote for Ruto. So now Murima again, I am seeing the same mistake. They're getting very excited with Gachagua and anointing him because they're upset with Ruto. So we need to be careful of what we wish for.
I'll say this. Speaking to people on the ground.
Yeah.
Rigiji injecting is very good. And I think you yourself have said over here, as guys were not beholden. Murima is not beholden to a person. One election cycle will support you. The next one, tutakuchuja. Case in point,
kama vile alichuja Uhuru.
The way kwanza they injected with
Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Nasema hiyo mchuja Uhuru,
so
we have to be careful not
No,
to
I agree. We have to
be.
be. But right now, remember, these guys, in the back of their mind, know the person who brought Uongo man was none other than
Rigiji.
Yes.
But he's apologized.
Yeah, he's apologized.
Yeah.
But apology,
amesema sorry.
acceptance is one thing. Sometimes, me and you are boys. Unifanyia madharau. Lakini, Omosh, anza kukunini. Anza kukuchokoza. We, wachana boy wangu. Please. Heshimu. That's my guy. I know him like that. Sawa. Please, heshimiane. Utaki vita, relax. Does not mean that I've forgiven you. This guy has a steep career to climb.
He has a steep mountain.
Even if you see Uhunye over there with Ruto wanasalimiana, Ruto is the one who's forcing, like, oh, even I allowed my brother to come in, I showed him advances and all that.
Yeah.
Vipindre tu, ni vipindre.
Yeah.
But it's 2025.
It's 2025.
2027.
But I'm already seeing signs. You know, like the signs that I started seeing.
Please, usikwe kama Prophet War.
No, I'm just seeing signs. You know, like I'm seeing similar patterns to what I was seeing. You know, like within a year and a half, 2 years to before the 2022 election when Ruto alianza kutangatanga, initially ilikuwa, we can never, I mean, I know part of the agreement was kumi ya Uhuru.
Kumi bila break.
Yeah, kumi bila break.
Kumi yangu na kumi yake.
Yeah. But then, you know, like initially ilikuwa, you know, like Ruto is just injecting against Uhuru. then the injections turned into political endorsement, and it turned into votes. So I'm afraid, and at least here in the diaspora, I'm starting to see those patterns which are getting me a little bit
What patterns?
jittery. I'm seeing patterns of like, just as long as he's injecting against Uhuru, the person we don't like, will slowly start going to his political camp and potentially voting for him. So with 𝘍𝘐, I'm seeing the same things, like just because, let's give him a break, just because he's injecting, and the injection is good, but my concern is when sasa itafika point where he's like, I'm running for president, and let me tell you,
I'll say this. I think this is what I'll say, hypothetically speaking.
yeah,
With first the Supreme Court ruling, the ruling that, because the challenge of him not being not being able to run for office, but he'll participate. Like, but with the Constitution, it allows you, even if you've been impeached or there's a pending case, as long as the case is pending or whatever is, you can run. If he decides to run, and I think it would be interesting to get the consensus of Murima if they want him to run or if they want him to endorse somebody. And if they want him to endorse somebody, who would he endorse, or what would make him want to endorse a certain person? I think those are the things that probably, again, I think if we can borrow a leaf from what you said, and maybe also like what happens here, to get a pulse of what the ground says. Yeah. So like if those Kameme FMs, those Inoros, those ones in the mountain, if they can get a pulse of what people are thinking. One, they don't want they don't want Kasongo. That's a fact.
Okay. All right. Before we move on to this conversation, Wairimu karibu sana. Wairimu saying at the funeral today, Raila endorsed WSR. And then Wairimu is also saying what 𝘍𝘐 said about foreigners was not xenophobic. The first person to assert that foreigners were getting IDs was the Tana River governor. He said his chiefs were being forced to sign off for Watu. So I don't know about this Tana River governor part. I know Natembeya has said something. And Wairimu will say this again. It is xenophobic. And you know why? And we actually had a very detailed discussion about like how Kenyan Somalis were being denied IDs. And I think Kenyans have been desensitized to that point to feel like it's okay for a whole community. Like it's one thing, a whole entire community, which is not the only cross-border community, to be vetted when it comes to getting IDs. A lot of people were saying, a lot of people who don't know the background of this thought that it started when we started having the refugee crisis in the early 90s. No, this is something that started way back in the 60s. And I think we covered this so much in detail, but I think people need to start being comfortable with the idea that Somalis are Kenyans. And I will tell you, in a legit census that's done, and I know this is a very uncomfortable topic, we know that, and of course, Ruto is trying to take advantage of the numbers because he does understand that there's a very big number in that community of Kenyans who, for years, have been denied IDs. So he's not doing this necessarily out of the goodness of his heart. He's doing it so that he can win votes in 2027. On this one thing, I will say it, everybody knows how I feel about Ruto, but on this one thing, I will say this is one thing that he got right. And I know this is a very unpopular position because people had gotten to the comfort of treating all Somalis like suspects. You have to prove that you're Kenyan. before you get an ID. And I think that in itself was very, very problematic. So in as much as Ruto is trying to cure it to his personal benefit, but I will say it was about time. And that's the reason why Ruto will get the Somali vote. Now, the thing is, because Somalis have been undercounted both in national census and they've been denied IDs, and now a lot of them have been getting the IDs that they justifiably deserve. I think there will be a surprise when the registration numbers come from there. And I understand, some people will see it this way and that way, but also when we look at things realistically, in the different communities in Kenya, people who are under the age of 40 or under the age of 45, how many communities still have these people having 6-7 kids? It is mostly people from the Somali community. So their population has definitely really grown from those numbers that typically are given during the census.
So what does not help?
Yeah.
Who's that lady? Is she, politician?
Ula lisema wataiba.
That one.
I think that was our Wajir. Was it Wajir? I can't remember. I think it was Wajir woman rep.
Yeah.
Wajiri Mandela.
Yeah.
Those are the things that don't help.
They don't help. They certainly don't
at
help.
all. And the worst part about it is, like, how Rithagle clans wanachukwanga one thing and then they blast it.
Yeah.
That. So whatever she said,
Yeah.
no matter whatever, kama ni kuiba tutaiba.
Yeah.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help the cause. In as much as, and I agree with you, because sometimes it's a very good, because there's even listening to the guys who are being interviewed, like the guys who, even the lady on a Fix the Nation with Eric Latif, his new show, and they had the expert on talking about how even trying to get an ID becomes a problem. The fact, if sometimes I think instead of some things instead of publicizing them, unafanya chini ya maji, like you try to rectify the wrongs, make the process a vetting process, not a vetting process, but a process where to get an ID, this is what you need, this is what, make the process
it a transparent process,
transparent and painless.
Yeah.
However, you make it public. That's okay. You can make it public. But the process that is being followed, there's no vetting. Okay. Many of us don't understand vetting because guess what? We've never really gone through vetting. Let's agree. Me, I haven't.
Yes.
You have.
Yes. Absolutely.
So I don't understand the vetting process, and the lack of knowing that handicaps us to comprehend
what it is.
Exactly, because like even it's just like here, immigration.
Yeah.
Right? The stuff that is being put, whites don't understand.
No, they don't get it.
But we get it.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. We get it. Kenyans from mountain, from the lake or whatever, don't get it.
No, they don't.
Our brothers and sisters in Upper Northeastern, they get it.
They get it. And that's why I want Wairimo to understand. And Wairimo is saying that she grew up in Langata constituency. That is my area. Mm-hmm. I grew up in Nairobi West. So labda tulipitana tu somewhere huko.
Chances are,
yes.
You probably even sat in the same mathri.
So I grew up in Nairobi West, nimeenda madrasa na hawa wa Somali, like in South Sea, like I attended madrasa hiyo ya South Sea Mosque. That's where, that's a place. There used to be another one kule chini karibu na Saga stores before this one ya South Sea Mosque ijengwe. So me, I'm very familiar. like with the growth of the Somali community within, especially that South Sea area. Because Wairimu hapa anasema, I grew up in Langata constituency with lots of Somali neighbors and schoolmates, but we need strong borders. What does that have to do with strong borders, Wairimu? This is where I'm telling you, challenge yourself kidogo. Like, what does vetting have to do with strong borders? Because sasa, even sisi sasa non-Somalis, we were catching strays. That's how we ended up being put in this.
Your name betrays you, and
because the name betrays.
That is the disconnect, and that's what I was saying. Us guys don't understand. Wairimu,
yeah,
you really don't get it.
So Wairimu, I am gonna share with you, if and this is if there's interest in knowing, the injustice that this system created, whereby you're in an area, people in their mid to late 20s do not have IDs. People in their early 30s do not have IDs. And not having an ID in Kenya means that you cannot secure employment.
Yes.
You cannot open a bank account. There are so many things that you cannot do without an identification card.
Yes.
Which is the reason why this was very existential for the Somali people. And for me personally, in as much as I hate Kasongo, in as much as I just want to see him disappear and go to Sugoi and keep selling chicken, but I would not blame the people of Northeastern, because whatever they were experiencing was very, very existential, and no president wanted to tackle it from independence until now.
I want you to respond to Bakora's statement, but before that, Wairimu, how easy or how difficult was it for you to get your ID?
By the way,
I'm asking Wairimu so that she can respond.
But by the way, some people tend to confuse vetting with ile kitu unaambiwa ati nendo tafute signature kwa chief. That's the very easy part. That's a very easy part. Spice FM, NTV Fixing the Nation, Kina Eric Latif, they did an amazing job.
Right.
So if you really want to, this is not the right platform. If you really want to understand, just go there.
Because what's the process? Because I want to, the reason I'm asking, it's the process. Muhammad Ali,
Jichopevu, 6 month old.
Yes.
What security is there
for a 6 month old?
Looking.
That's what I'm asking. That's what I was asking Wairimu. What exactly did she go through? Even to just get an ID.
But you see, I think the problem, and
because an ID,
where I can't blame Wairimu, I think the problem is that people have been desensitized to see this other group as a security problem and make it okay to say that everyone in this community, before they get an ID, they need first of all to prove that they are bona fide Kenyans who are not a threat to the republic,
and that is why, and that right there. That's why I'm asking how easy was it for her, or how hard was it for her, to get an ID?
Okay,
I'm just asking for. I'm just looking at something simple as an ID. What did she have to do vis-a-vis what Ali had to do to get an ID?
There you go.
Unaget. That is it.
Simple question.
That is it.
Bakora panasema there's no xenophobic argument to reach out to Somali community who run back home. Minnesota Mall, Ohio, Columbus, Nashville, Eastleigh won't be going up if no security and confidence. Hapo Bakora jieleze kidogo. Bado sijakuelewa vizuri. But hapa Bakora anasema how many Congolese, Burundians, Somali come out from Kenya to abroad to invest back home, who invest in Eastleigh Mall. Again, number to call 202-683-4570. Press star 5 to speak.
I don't think
Gypsy Kona anasema it's sad to blame Somalians for our flaws. This means education is the key. Uno Mike.
No, I was gonna say, the thing is scapegoating.
Yeah.
All we're talking about is this: how hard it is to verify or to get an ID.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
If you are Wairimu, ama Sisol, or Mosh, ama Mika or Chieng or whatever, unaenda mambo kuisha. Lakini kama jina yako ni Ali Suleiman Khomeini Badawi,
yes,
then there's and again, And that is all that I'm saying, because if that that can be addressed, just a simple ID, then we can move away from not necessarily targeting, but then we can understand how I'm not going to use the word xenophobia, but it is an unwarranted attack on a community. People who have been born, raised, and whatever. Muhammad Ali's daughter, 6-month-old.
This problem is much.
And by the
deeper.
one of the hosts of Fix the Nation.
Yes, one of the hosts. Mariam, like, and these are people who are born in the city, daughters of the children of former Mandera senator. Yani hata senator hasazwi, watoto wake pia lazima wakuwe vetted. I'm like, their father is a senator. Is a senator in the Kenyan Senate. But they still have to go through.
And that is why I'm saying
they still have to go through.
And that was my question to Erimo. For you, how easy it was.
Yeah.
Uni politician akona shida. Muturi ama Otieno ama Wafula.
Okay, aya, wacha tusome comments hapa before we go to the last topic of conversation. Hapa Steven Bati alikuwa anafurahia imitation yangu ya baba. I think I could have maybe done some comedy in a previous life, but anyway. Esther Mulusa anasema Kenyan politics is too transient. We need 2 or 3 ideologically based parties, not these constant contortions, mergers and distortions of parties. And then Nancy Mirosi anasema, have you guys discussed Sifuna and the role in ODM if he resigns or gets fired? Amin Ali hapa anasema, thank you Ali. What is the discussion today? Today is a random Friday. Amin Ali, talk to us. Give us your experience on how you got your Kenyan ID, whether you got it directly ama if you had to go through vetting. Watu wa majina kama hizi zetu, we always experience certain problems when getting IDs, and I think like it's difficult for other people to understand. Even when people are getting them in schools, people who get their IDs in schools when they're in Form 4, ukifika unafikiwa, Abdi, wewe itabidi ungoje, umalize KCSE, uende kwa office.
Uende home kwako.
Yes. Yeah, and then Amin Ali anasema, where is Kenya heading now into social unrest as well? Politicians' stance and how Kenyan people can sit down to solve issues of tribalism affecting many people. Again, the number to call is 202-683-4570. Press *5 to speak.
Our topic was several topics.
There are several topics.
Lakini hii tume
hii hapa imeenda
random.
Imeenda kidogo.
We said it was random.
It was a random Friday. Yeah. The other thing that we wanted to discuss before we forget, because time is running out, why has it become so easy to scam Kenyans in the diaspora? It's become super easy.
Now,
because every so often there's always a scam being discussed.
I think in general for humans it's just easy to scam because of those what are they called? Are they called the soft goals or the get rich quick schemes? You want to
every person has their own weakness.
If somebody comes to you and tells you your $20 is going to be multiplied to 40 if you put it in here, a lot of people will go for that.
So before you read,
So with that type of mentality, when you're being brought for these things that have, you're seeing what you can do with the money. It's kind of like the lottery. You go, you pay $1 and you can get, 100 million. People go for those things, and it's just, unfortunately, it's human nature. Now, the difference between those who go for it and those who don't could be either experience, maybe you don't get moved by some of those things, or you're skeptical, or you're just like, apana, if it's too good to be true, then it can't be true.
So why didn't you go for it? Like this particular one, this recent one.
Let me set this precedent. Hold on. This was Ali Badawi's post. June 25th or 25.
So kuna receipts.
So this acronym LSSC is trending big time amongst Kenyan women in the US. I am being told you'll experience at least 730% ROI.
In how long?
for Mosh, ROI is return on investment.
In how long?
If you join Lightning Scooter Shared Co, don't ask too many questions. Just join, and the money starts pouring in
Immediately.
the following day like magic. Someone explained to me slowly, like a 5th grader, how this works and where the scooters are being sold. This was Ali's question
In June.
in June of 2025. Then, July 20th,
A month later.
I am being reminded to check how well or poorly this caution against LSSC is aging. A number of influencers, in quotes, and respected, in quotes, folks pushed unsuspecting diasporans to join this gravy train, in quotes. I am here to get testimonies for the newly minted millionaires who've tasted the 730% ROI promised and a taste of generational wealth. And then inaitwaje hashtag comments fupi. And then he follows up July 30th. I am here kindly requesting for updates from those who are asking me to be quiet when I tried issuing a scam alert. How is the 30%, 730% promised ROI and withdrawals coming through so far? I am ready to be laughed at. Now, the previous one that I read, not this one, the other one, there was... I am just waiting for chickens to come home to roost. There's someone who insulted me under a certain post when I asked about its legitimacy, and I'm waiting to go revive it. Laugh. Anyway, I was just reading one comment. So, carry on.
So unajua, when I was making this post, someone told me that Ali, you need to be sensitive. Some people have lost money.
Ali, say the truth. What pushed you to work at that post?
So
say the truth.
So the
I
thing
shame
is
the devil.
So the thing is,
I mean,
like
Malkul Maut.
I started seeing people very close to me, like joining this.
There was a phone call or something that came across your desk when you were minding a business.
Yes. And there are people who are very close to me who are joining this, and they were actually telling me to join it and actually use my influence to make other people join. So sometimes I try to get the thinking process of the people who are joining. The genius about this particular scam was that they were showing the returns up within the app. So you put in like $1,000, then I think it starts giving you a certain amount daily. But this money is inside that
a wallet.
That wallet. It's not in your bank account, it's in that wallet. So you're just seeing a number there showing you had 1,000, 2 weeks later it's now 2,000.
So ni cash up until you cash it into your account.
Yeah, so now mtu akiona within just a week I made 2,000, why can't I wait another 2 weeks and now make 4,000?
Yes.
Or even injecting some more money so that this returns zinaweza kutoka nono sasa, zile kubwa. Yes. Now sasa, the reason why I went a bit humorous in the post that I was making, because I was told I was being insensitive because some people have lost money. I realized that people respond better to humor. If I just write one of those serious posts, people will read it, but people tend to have like if people start seeing those funny comments, especially people who've not joined, they'll be like, enyewe mistaki kuchekelewa. So atakata kuingia, not because haamini hiyo kitu ina work, but because hataki kuchekelewa. And that's the reason why I think comedians are so influential. So this was just a different tact that I was trying, and you saw, like so many people came in. But there were people who are still doubling down. And the worst part, this thing was brought to the Kenyan community by influencers. We are not going to be mentioning any names.
No. Wanajulikana.
We are not going to.
Are you scared?
It's not about being scared. You know, like there's no point in us mentioning a name when we cannot give a right of reply.
Saa zingine wahenga walinena kibaya cha jiuza, right?
No, ni chema cha jiuza.
That one.
Yeah.
Kibaya cha jitembeza.
Yeah.
I
So
thought,
right now
I thought you were trying to end the show. Kumbe you were doing an example.
LSSC inajitembeza.
So I think there has to be some accountability from the influencers who threw this to the Kenyan community. And I think all those influencers with the same level of effort and strength they used to spread this is what they should use right now to tell people, I'm sorry, if you've not joined, please don't join this. It is a scam. Because people came to learn it's a scam when now people are trying to withdraw the money. So
that portal was not working.
So it was asking for further verification. And then on verification, it was asking for a verification fee.
Of a loose 349.
Yes, and that fee, and now people, because now wallet yako inasema you put in 5,000, wallet yako inasema now you have 20,000, inakuuliza utoe 300-400 for verification. From that wallet, yeah. So mtu anaona, okay, that's okay. Let me just pay this 349 so that I can verify. After all, there's 20K.
It's virtual money.
Yes, there's 20K that's gonna come in.
Yes.
Until at some point, I think reality started kicking in. That people have been scammed.
They have been siaked.
And it's in the thousands.
A good one.
So they were playing with the house money inside that thing.
There was no money.
No, okay, that's why I'm telling you they were playing with house money.
Yes.
Yani, their money that they put in, whatever it was, that's the money that went. Now, the money you think you're getting back is house money.
It's monopoly money.
It's rotating hapa tu ndani ya hii app. Lakini haitoki. It's just a number. So unaiona tu.
Yeah. Hiyo ni kama uko na account inasema uko na $5,000 but ukifika Bank of America wanakuambia boss hauna doa hapa. You know, like hiyo hapo, that's just a screenshot. Hiyo labda ni screenshot ya 3 years back when you had $5,000 but hakuna pesa hapa. So I know families and you know, like empathies to anyone who lost any kind of money. You know, like it's never how do I put it? It's never a good thing losing money, especially because we take time, we work so hard to earn this money. But then and the other space that was used was also being pushed in churches. Now this is I'm being told, of course I don't go to church, but I'm being told that this was being pushed also in
I would not be surprised
in churches.
I would not be surprised.
Where people heard about it kwa kanisa yao na wanajua fulani aliingia na akaingia. Now the community that was most affected, which I think most people are not aware of, is the Congolese community, Congolese refugees.
Sasa.
Is that why Francois became a big thing or what?
Yes, Francois was a big deal. Now Francois, nobody even knows who Francois is. Nobody even knows if he's a real human being. He's supposed to be the CEO of all this. There's not even a picture of Francois.
He's the CEO of LSSC or CEO of the LSSC of Congo?
No, LSSC overall. LSSC imeanza hapa. Now hizo zinaenda Congo, those are now branches. Those are different branches, but LSSC ni hapa US. So,
and what about that spokesman that we saw? The one who even came out and had done a video telling people, come, sijui nini. Then he said, me, I was just paid. And staki watu wasemeni mimi.
So I think it's one of the most effective way of scamming people is scam the trusted source. So unaona, if the trusted source comes, you know, like let's say like if you guys trust me and then nimekuja, I've already been brainwashed somewhere. Nimekuwa scammed, and then I come because you guys trust me, you buy in the idea based on the trust that you have in me. Not necessarily the idea. So that's what happened. So I think even before this, he was called Professor Eric. Before Professor Eric realized that this was a scam, he had already recruited in so many people. And he was the one who was doing live videos showing how that money is going up.
Yes, and going in the portal and giving tutorials and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Then, but he said he was paid, right? He said he was a paid person or whatever it was.
So what we don't know is if he was paid in the app or if he was actually paid cash money.
Got it.
That's what we don't know.
Got it.
Because if you got paid in the app, then
Yuko pale tu same WhatsApp group as the people he was pigaring Gunzo with.
yes, kabisa. You know, like hapa Nancy Mirosi anasema we need financial literacy classes. I think this is beyond financial literacy. I think it is the allure that people have of making quick wealth.
You know, the thing is, to me, again, our programming has always been broti makuta
Yeah.
or anything kama ikobesha pesa or an way to get, you know, easy quick, we are there. And I don't it's not just us Kenyans. I think it's everywhere. Because now this
Correct.
is
Yes.
this is clear, this is Congolese.
Sign of the times, yes.
So I think there's a certain education, and I will agree with Nancy about a need to have financial literacy where you have to understand or if something is pitched, it has to make sense financially, or the money ama the return, because 730% ROI. Bro,
Okay.
come on,
To
man.
a finance person, you'll understand. The 730 is not, but to the regular layman, you just tell them put in 10.
So you
But,
know,
gonna
but
get
you know what they were saying,
Omosh,
Uno. You know what
if
was
you
being said.
have kidogo financial literacy, if you've been educated,
No,
please,
you
Ali,
see-
take over.
you see,
'Cause
this-
anyiti.
Hata
this-
financial literacy wanafanya hizo upuzi.
No, this quick returns, people will get scammed. You know why? Because one of the things that people were saying, even when it was clear it was a scam, people are asking, oh, kama hii ni scam, how come I am already making
yes,
money?
I have money.
That is what was being said.
Because it's constant.
And
it's
now,
flowing.
I think the people who designed this scam understood that part, that a lot of people will come and say this is a scam, so they were like, you know what, let's throw that money
Yeah, we'll give
inside
out-
their wallet.
But
Yes,
okay,
and
so that if they say
Sawa.
it's a scam, we tell them, but ndo hii pesa tushakupatia.
sawa.
Yeah.
Okay, Ali. Now me, I'm picking Ali's brain
Okay.
as a financial guy.
Okay.
You probably smelt this the minute you read it.
Yeah.
The minute the words were uttered.
Yes,
Forget
immediately.
Reddit. The minute the words were
Yeah.
uttered.
And this
Immediately was a red flag.
This right here, this is what I'm talking about. Having knowledge or foundational of literacy, because when you have it, it's in you. You've been taught, unaelewa. Like over time, you understand certain things and certain investments. They make sense. They may not make sense. But there are certain things. Like now, chances are probably at some point in time, this you remember those derivatives.
Yes.
Derivatives, even Greenspan did not understand them. This is the former Fed chair.
This is during the
Correct.
financial crisis.
He did not understand them. He came out in front of a Senate hearing. He did not understand them. And this is the guy who is supposed
Supposed to be protecting us.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right? But now we're talking about something this level. Umse anaelewa. Sasa, even with your financial knowledge and literacy, as a basis of foundation, hapa,
No, I think there's certain red
are
flags.
you get what I'm saying?
One of the most basic red flag that anybody should see and understand that this is a scam, if it involves recruiting others.
And that is, you see, now you're
Yes.
helping my cause, because
But that's not financial literacy.
no, not even
That
that.
is just basic knowing a pyramid scheme. That's what I was trying to say.
But
Now,
there's a
and
financial
the- and
element
the
to it,
sell-
because
and
this
the-
is
So
money.
you see,
The sell,
so you see, as
there's so many
Kim,
things that were happening with this scam. It wasn't just a regular scam. This
Yeah.
scam was like fourfold.
so you see a scheme where you're told you have to recruit for you to make money,
Yes.
for you to get you to what level.
They need to be people
you
below you.
you have to, there have to be people below you.
I have been part of that, something called Amway back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw that.
And it had another name before that.
Yeah, so you see, so
I
it
did,
morphs.
did.
Yes.
So it morphs into different names. So that's usually the first red flag. When unaambiwa ati you have to recruit people, that is a problem. It's one thing if it's a product that you're selling. At least ile ya kuuza kahawa, hiyo multi-level marketing, at least at the minimum level, I'll say, at least there's a product here. There's a product, there's kahawa inauzwa. Sasa hapa they are telling you scooters. Where were these scooters? That's another basic question I was telling people. Please tell me one place.
Try to find them.
If I want one for myself, I want to buy one for myself.
Where will you pata your scooter?
Where can I buy it?
Where were these scooters, by the way?
It was somewhere in virtuality.
They were in virtuality. they were unakumbuka ile game ilikuwaga that app, was it called Sims? These games that people used to play.
That used to adapt.
Where you go build a virtual scooter.
Yes.
There was no real scooter. And then now people were being told to open up offices. Because I know even people here locally, they opened up. Now your office. So now these people understand the way African immigrants reason is that wakiona ofisi. Because that's part of the other reason.
Wanajua wako ndani kama sim card.
And then they're being told to take a picture.
It's a human thing. By the way, it's a human thing. Because I remember those days of Amway. Mimi nilienda presentation. Now one thing they all did, everybody wore suits. They were all dressed very, very nicely. And then we all went to a house. It was a huge, huge house. It was a mansion.
Yeah.
Okay? That should have been red flag number.
Red flag.
Number one.
Red flag, yeah.
But tumeingia. And then, ujama kuna presentation anafanywa. But the presentation cannot be done by the guy who recruited you. It has to be. And there are some other
levels. Levels,
and
my guy.
Chap,
levels.
Ule msewa huko juu is the one who is bigger in the recruitment. Then, strategically placed in this how there's a check. That's
a big one.
It's a big check.
It's a big fat check.
And it's in a glass case.
Inaonekana wewe umeona mavitu wewe.
Let's stick to the program. Now you check, it says it's made out to the owner of the house. Okay? And it's made out for X amount. X amount could have been 300, 400K, 500K.
No, just tell us what you saw.
But X
what
amount,
did you see?
No, that check was for like something like, and this is a long time ago, okay? This check was for something like $400,000, okay? Now, your check,
unaambiwa fabricated or not?
Unaambiwa hii hao paliniko, hii ndio check ililipa, hii hao. So mimi nikiwaambia hii story, si ati nawaambia tu nawaambia, apana, here is my evidence. And this is zile siku za hizo maamwe, from back then. And this is 19, in fact, that I think that time they were called something different.
No, for me it was Amway, and I think it was about 2000 and
there was another one also called, I think,
7, 8, 9, 10.
Primerica or something like that.
Primerica was the insurance one.
That was the insurance one.
Primerica was the insurance one, yes.
So wewe una 400,000.
But boss, niliona check na naangalia watu.
Ukasema
a lot of them are not,
they are
not colored like me, you know, they are in suits, magari wanaendesha, hata wewe unasema, mimi ndio huyu nimeingia na uko na Cassandra. My friend, please. Utatoa hiyo sombili na chwani, hiyo unaambiwa ati hii ndio ya kuanzia, then kuna ka starter packs juu kuje sijui nini, na kuna meetings on Tuesdays na Thursdays, alafu
and by the way, if you don't meet your goal, you have to buy the stuff. So unatumia 250, you buy stuff. I'm telling you, I saw dust your Amway.
Na hapo bado unapiga
that's right, I said it.
Bado unapiga recruitment.
Unajaribu.
Si ndio? And the way you are told is hata siku ile utatoka, as long as hao watu wako bado utapata check yako.
Yeah, the money will still keep coming in. So yeah, but at least, you know, like some of those older Ponzi schemes, at least there are people who are actually making that money. Those people who are on top of the pyramid. Here, Francois, LSC, like everybody, back even those people on top of the pyramid, wote wameoshwa. They're all waiting, you know, like,
and then they were showing videos.
So
You sent me that TikTok.
Who got this money?
Francois.
Whoever Francois is.
Yeah. Francois alipata hiyo pesa.
Yeah. Because so that money, your money.
Is the website still up?
I don't even know.
But
remember, the wallets, I think the wallets are still up. They're still asking people for verification money.
But remember,
money so that they can withdraw.
Whatever has been going on has been so much in the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
At LSSC, like Ali said, even we could not even
We could not even fertilate because there was
because
so much
there
going
was
on.
Marak. There was
watu wa LSSC wapige simu kama kuna mtu ako na LSSC na alitoa do.
Because my influencers.
Na alitoa do.
But
alipata do. Si ile do ya wallet, do ile imeingia.
There was a guy on TikTok. I'd go, you know, the way you scroll. He was like really an influencer.
Yeah.
Championing LSSC.
Yeah.
He was championing. And if you go to the comments, I will go to the comments and guys are like, this is a scams. Do you want? Like, my friend, tuheshimiane. If you don't want to participate or whatever. And him say he was being brutally, the commenter was being harshly warned.
Yeah.
Hey, I would like to go back and see if the commenter commented on that career.
No.
Because I know this influencer, I won't say the handle, but I think there's several influencers in America that are silent.
And there needs to be
and they should be called, they need to be called out.
There has to be accountability.
Because hapa watu wameona vumbi.
Watu wameona vumbi, you know, I know families that have lost more than $30,000 based on
that.
This. Yes. Where baba, mama, and then even maybe the daughter joined. This thing is very serious.
I hope our mom did not try to join that thing.
This thing is very serious. No, definitely not.
Oh, okay.
Let me tell you, accounts were blocked, passwords were changed.
No. No. The good thing
when that phone call came, the
good thing with our mom, anything will go through me. But now I'm thinking of those moms who do not have access to
But even that's knowledge. Knowledge. And again, this was coming. This is why I was pointing out.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
That's why I'm pointing out.
I hear
because even just foundational literacy on finance, that just like, okay, certain things you have to understand. It takes a while to make money. It doesn't take 2 seconds to make $1 million. You have to be cautious, and that's all I'm saying. Like, there has to be some form of even with our kids, we tell them, listen, it's a hard, this is this way, this is how you make whatever. You have to be cautious about, you have to analyze, you have to investigate.
But you know the allure of quick returns. The allure of quick returns. I think we are underestimating here the allure of quick returns. Yeah. Even to people who have some financial literacy. Correct. Why do you think people go to casinos? Why do you think people are always like buying lottery tickets? And these things are very high on demand. People clearly know there's a very low chance, but that allure, so hapa unaona sasa chances, lottery of course,
okay, bro,
the chances are very low.
Do you buy lottery tickets?
No, never. I would never buy a lottery ticket.
I buy for Ali, it's haram.
Yeah.
No. Okay, fine. No, I'm not asking him as a Muslim, but as a human. Like, would you buy a lottery ticket?
He's the Muslim who's the human. But okay.
So you see.
No, I'm not asking as a Muslim, but again, my point still reverts back to financial literacy. No matter how you dissect savviness, because that allows you to assess. You become more. You start. You don't just because unaona Powerball na Mega Ball. That is fine. For Muslim, it's haram. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have $2. I just buy a ticket. I'm not going. I remember. There's a time. There's a guy who would come in and buy $40 worth of tickets.
Lottery tickets, yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
5 days a week.
The allure.
Maybe a Coca group.
Yeah.
Maybe a Coca group.
And you see hata kama yuko solo, hata kama yuko kwa
kuna
group.
Watu wengine waga hivyo.
There are guys
certain numbers and they're like,
but there are guys who are
grandfather's numbers.
But there are guys who are addicted to that. That's another thing. Gambling.
There are guys who are addicted, but ask yourself why Vegas is doing so well. It's not all the people who are going there financially literate.
But I'm sorry, but right now, because of Trump and his stuff,
yes,
they're suffering.
Of course.
But I agree with you.
Yeah.
But again, a form of financial literacy that grounds you in understanding money and manipulation or whatever
Yeah.
will go a long way.
It will go a long way.
And that is just my point.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like,
but then
if we teach our kids, because
Yeah.
I was not taught. I'm learning financial literacy by listening to Ali talk about stuff.
But Mike, you see, some of these things, the way they are
Or am I
packaged-
misunderstanding something here?
There's something you're misunderstanding. The way they are packaged, it's packaged as a business. In financial literacy, you're taught that a business is good. So this thing is packaged as a business. We are selling scooters.
Okay.
So that's the part, because remember, this thing has been designed in such a way that they're even considering that the people we are targeting could have some form of financial literacy. We can't just go tell them recruit people. We have to have something here at the bottom to tell them that there's a product that's being sold. This product is being sold online. It's being sold in other countries, so you cannot see it. And then this business is doing so well. That's why you'll be getting these good returns. So whoever is recruiting you is showing you that I have already made this much within a month. So a combination of this is very powerful. You know, like besides being into finance, I'm also into stories, because humans relate more to stories than anything else. So you see, these stories are crafted in such a clever way.
They're called narratives.
Because even me, the first time it was brought to me, you know, it's just that I tend to have a very skeptical mind, and I never, however good a product is, I will never go in. I will never go in without understanding it. But the way, I remember the first time I had it, the way it was crafted, I can understand why even someone with some knowledge on financial literacy will get lured into it, thinking that this is something legit.
Again, I think you're helping my point here. In terms of when you understand financial literacy, you also understand questioning. You look at you. There's a seed that is planted where you're like, okay, how does this make sense?
So let me ask you what questions. So imagine, you know, like you don't know anything about LSSC, and it's been presented to you. What questions would come to your mind first before even you knowing that it's a scam or anything, that there's a scooter business
without financial literacy? Because I don't I don't have any.
No, just I'm saying, where you are right now.
Yeah.
So just imagine, you know, like someone is coming to you and presenting that idea. So from what you know,
Naile portal.
Yeah.
From
what you know, what questions would you be asking? For example, what questions would you be asking?
How much is the return again? Because remember, the way it has been packaged with minus understanding finance or return on investment or whatever. If without that, I'd be one of the guys who would be like asking, because I'm thinking, okay, I can make money. How much money can I make? At how much can I invest, and what is the return? After how soon can I withdraw? And by the way, when I'm saying can I withdraw, I'm thinking as a person,
think
but
about
I can't.
It. But now that we know,
now that
we know there's difficulty in withdrawing, that's why that question is coming up. So that's why I'm asking you, what would be your first questions where you don't know about issues of withdrawal? It's something you're hearing about the first time.
How much am I making? How soon?
So what they tell you, you know, like
but you see somebody who doesn't have literacy.
So they anticipate those questions. They anticipate those questions that you're gonna ask.
Exactly. But
and
you see, the thing
answers.
is, they have answers. But this is the anticipation is for somebody who cannot articulate, who cannot be like Ali. When I say like Ali, knowing, like, you know, like, there's a certain way like return on investments. So things have to make sense, numbers wise, money wise. If I come and tell you and I'm trying to sell you, there's this project I'm trying to have, I'm trying to raise so much money, we are trying to build this or whatever, and then when it picks up, there's going to be a certain percentage. Someone like you is going to be crunching numbers.
But now you see,
part
of what they
and
tell
I think we're not. I think there's some. Maybe I'm not. You know what? I don't think I'm communicating my point right.
Yes.
You are not getting me.
No, what I'm telling you, even with financial literacy, you can still get got with these schemes. Even with financial literacy.
Question is,
yeah,
how susceptible would you be to being got if you have financial literacy vis-a-vis somebody who is a no?
Of course, the one who has zero financial literacy is more susceptible, but just because this one is 90% susceptible and you're 50% susceptible doesn't mean you can't get got.
But you're 40% less.
And Sasa, that's where I'm saying it is one of the things they'll tell you, unaona hiyo 730% ROI, there are some stocks within certain crazy periods where they've been going to the moon, they've given such returns within a short period. So those are some of the things that they say, oh, kumbuka GameStop, like a couple of years ago, it was giving certain returns, and GameStop is a legit stock. So those are some of the tactics that I used to show people that in as much as these ROIs look crazy, but they are possible.
Exactly. So if you're in the know, you can look and be like, okay, this doesn't make sense, but let us study this.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, with the knowledge, YouTube anasema nini, because I'm just seeing comments.
No, nani anasema, Gypsy Kwan anasema, sorry, I've not seen gambling ending well in all weak souls. Gambling is driven by greed, then transferred to addiction, hence the illness.
By the way, let me tell you, I was watching a guy, a document, like a small podcast on YouTube about. I was watching the rugby sevens SportsPesa in Driftwood.
Yeah.
Then Prince Solo. So there was a right next, on YouTube you have. They show you programs on SportsPesa, but
yeah.
So there was a guy who was addicted to betting like a nonsense.
It's a serious addiction.
Let me tell you, and it is scary.
It is a serious
because this guy
addiction.
was a successful businessman. He sold a plot for 3 million.
Yep.
And bet it all.
Now that is the other tragedy that's happening. Maybe not so much in the diaspora, but in our community. Some of these remittances that you're sending back home.
It is happening here because there's some guys that I know that kuna addiction ya betting.
No, but you see...
But not to that level though.
But you see, in Kenya, it's been made so accessible.
Yes. Yeah.
Upper you have to go to Horseshoe. Ama you have to... There's some... And I know
those two apps. Yeah.
There's some apps where you can do it, but in Kenya, it's made so easy. You can do it via text. You can do it via text. It's made so easy, like you can do it in 1, 2, 3 steps, and you can do it in very small amounts. Niweke 100 bob hapa. And I think, to me, that's one of the reasons why sponsorship, yeah, and with this, I have a conflict of interest. SportsPesa, Betika, Odibets, I know they were paying a lot of influencers, and now I think there's been an issue with influencers advertising them. But I think these things, they do more harm to society than any benefit they provide to anyone. And to me, it's a biased position. I'll openly, like Minik, you are biased.
Is it biased from your religious perspective or from societal?
So...
Or a combination?
I will say societal.
So I'll say really okay. You see the difference that I have been, or maybe the different direction I've been taking with these things that tumekatazwa by the religion. Like for a long time I just knew zimekatazwa, and part of the reasoning that ambayo iko sisi tunapo, because like everything tumekatazwa, there's always an explanation on why imekatazwa.
Correct.
So both alcohol and gambling, they're mentioned in tandem. You know, like especially in the Quran, they're always for the most part they're mentioned together. And I never used to understand why they were mentioned together until when I went to Las Vegas for the first time. That's where I knew.
Then you knew.
That's where I knew the connection. Of alcohol and gambling comes.
Yes.
So part of the explanation is that yes, these things, they do have a benefit, but the benefit, the small benefit that's in them, is far outweighed by the harm that
Correct.
comes out of this.
Correct.
So now,
Harm or potential harm.
yeah, or potential harm. So now, you know, like from that is where I would go and now start looking at the practicality. What does research out there say about consumption of alcohol? What does research out there say about excessive betting or just even betting at large? And I'm like, this just proves this rule that were given over 1400 years ago, but people, because you're seeing what it's doing to communities right now in Kenya, you know, like I don't think there's any family that's not been affected by e-addiction, betting. You know, like to young people, it's been made very normal. When us guys were young, these things, we did not have any access to any kind of betting. It was very difficult.
The only thing that was there was Kenya sweepstakes, but even that one,
Kenya charity,
that one, Kenya,
and that one was a lottery. Yeah.
Spot the ball.
Yeah, but Ama is spot the ball. But spot the ball, you know, like you were not even paying anything. You would spot the ball, and then you would send it via mail.
Yeah.
But Sasa, you know, with cell phones, you have a lot of young people who constantly, especially kama kuna sijui games a Premier League ama nini, you're predicting at sijui 3 matches, put in 100 bob. If these predictions turn out true, you might get
you get times 3 or times whatever.
Times 3 ama times 10, depending on how complicated your odds
you
are.
Picked, yes.
Yeah, so I think that right there, to me, this is the other crisis that we are looking into. Unakumbuka kama vile tulikuwa na crisis ya alcohol, illicit brew na nini?
Yes.
This is the new crisis.
And this one is even worse because, you know, your alcohol takes you years. Alcohol takes years before it
becomes an addiction.
It takes some time.
It takes some time.
Yeah.
Betting.
Instant gratification.
Ni kama hizi madrugs, hard drugs.
Yeah.
You know that thing of betting, we did Vegas for 10 years.
Yeah.
Consecutive, right?
Yes.
Did you ever miss?
No, I never missed.
Did you ever?
Don't you dare look at me.
Yeah.
I never missed.
You'll
missed
call
once,
Uber. You'll call Uber.
I cannot tell you, Ali, that in as much as I was around all of that and I don't have any religious restriction, yada, I don't think I spent more than $30 in all those 10 years.
No, me, I don't think.
Kwa zile machine.
Yeah.
Now, you as I understand, but for me, sina your restriction.
I know,
you get
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. But you did not have any appeal.
The most nilikuwa nawekaga ilikuwa, I think if I spent $1 on a machine, I spent a lot of money. And I would spend it. Once the dollar is gone, I exit. And I was doing zeros at 25 cents.
Yeah.
So for 1, 2, 3, 4, if nothing comes back,
I keep
moving. So, and I was never ever moved. So at CG pulling that thing down, sitting at the roulette table, CG had to pick CG red, green, blue. And I was never ever moved by it.
But a lot of Kenyans were losing money. There was a lot of Kenyans who were gambling there.
After the hang, that time of tuko pale kwa ile nini.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yes.
Because remember, you're on the floor. We were right on the floor and we couldn't all fit in the trough.
Especially Planet Hollywood.
We could not all fit in that Planet Hollywood place. So kuna watu walikuwa mekaa and where do you sit? Right at the machine. They sit right at the machine.
Planet Hollywood especially.
My friends.
I'm sure they are holding hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of Kenyan money. That in revenue, gambling revenue of Kenyans who lost money.
Na kuna wale wanaanza vizuri after you come from study, you come at CG, you've showered at CG, then you're like at as I'm nini waiting for the others, wacha niendele hapa, hawatoki. Wako hapo tu.
This was supposed to be a random Friday.
Sorry.
Kuna comments. Can we read the comments on YouTube and Facebook before we wrap up? Before we
Gypsy Kona anasema Sorry, I have not seen gambling ending well in weak souls. I think we already read that. And then Ansema, addiction has been really bad in Kenya. That during Uhuru's time, he restricted their licenses.
Yes.
Warimu says, if someone is trying to sell you a new thing as an investment or business, first check it out on the BBB, Better Business Bureau. Very good. Ask for the books or a prospectus and also their business license. So this is a very good way to check. But Warimu will tell you the average person.
Again, if you're not familiar or don't have financial literacy, I will stick to that point.
Yeah, but Better Business Bureau, I think that's an easy check. That's an easy way to go check. But now LSSC, like anybody who was going to Google it, I would say at the bare minimum, Google this thing. At the bare minimum, everyone was saying it's a scam.
Programming, bro. But anyway,
everyone was saying it's a scam.
Programming.
But for some reason, and then you see the way they designed it, the way Professor Eric alikuwa anafanya. Professor Eric alioshambaka wazungu, cause alikuwa akona hiyo app, anawaambia watu wa download hapo, and then you see the money coming in right there and then.
That guy is going to be on that show, American Grid. That guy will be on American Grid.
Brilliant scam, because as you can tell, it was thought of by techies.
Yes.
This is not just one of it.
No.
These guys sat down as techies and said, we're going to present this thing to you in a, what is it called? Would I call it a fail-safe manner? A manner when you look at it, you're like, I can see, because everybody's used to a wallet. We're all used to PayPal, Cash App, Zelle. Well, Zelle is real money, but I mean, we're used to these wallets, right? That hold our stuff, or people who are used to digital coins and stuff like that. And you'll only get your return when you cash out. And that's the key. The cashing out is the part where you could never get to do it. But you've already cashed in because you used real money to build your nest egg.
Yeah.
And they played this game to a T.
Yes, and then they would increase your money so much that before you think of cashing out, because this cashing out came in later, because people are like, this money is growing.
Why am I taking this thing out?
Why am I taking this thing?
But now, for someone like me, knowing what I know now, if I meet something like that and I join, I'm going in. If I put in 2K and I get 5K, out.
But where they catch you,
you will never be able to cash out.
But where they catch you, they tell you, ukiingia, they're telling you have to be there for a certain period.
For X.
You have to sit for X
the
before
eggs need to marinate.
Before you withdraw.
Apple X ndio value.
Utaumia.
And remember that this thing is going from place to place. So let's say hapa state watu wananungunika, si ndio?
Kongole wameumia.
Iko Zambia, iko sijui nini, and by the time wase wanagutuka, and they may even change this whole thing and it becomes a whole other different thing.
Yes, they may change the
name.
They
may morph it. And then it's no longer going to be LSC. It's something else similar. But in the end, and it come at a your speed.
And guess who's going to give them funding? Unbeknownst to them, because they've come to borrow a loan. A commercial loan. Mwaura Moroki.
No, Mwaura Moroki will not give.
You guys, do you know that chap of yours? I love him to death now. Lakini,
he will not give a loan to people who are going to create. Let me tell you,
he deals with corporate. That stuff has got to be corporate, and these guys have to be legit.
But
and do you
if
know
Mwaura Moroki is given a good deal,
do you know how much vetting banks do for money?
The level.
Ask this guy.
I used to work in a bank.
Let me tell you,
Mwaura Moroki, give us that money, bro.
By the way,
to give you that money. The vetting that they'll have, and especially in today's times.
So nasema Mwaura Moroki ni mkono gam.
It's just the way that they've worked themselves as a bank. That's what they've said. They are not. Remember, they're in the business of making money, not losing money. So they're not giving money to somebody who is not. There has to be
those people will never go to a bank.
There has to be a return on their money. Yes, they will not. That is why these third-party funders and investors and all of that wako wengi.
Those people will never go to a bank. A bank is the last place you want to go, because kwanza in a bank, if you go and use the money for a purpose that wasn't stated by the bank, you sasa now you're going to be dealing with another.
What are you talking about? Cash flow. Cash flow.
Yeah.
Feds, my friend. Feds.
Federalis.
Yes, because it's a bank. You've robbed a bank.
So you see hapa Gypsy Kona anasema after 5 years contract, Everton FC terminated the Sports Pesa contract due to heavy gambling in Africa. Spain. Remember the time when
Yes,
the time when 𝘍𝘐 went and they had to
cover their because there's no
jerseys
gambling.
Because then they don't allow, Spain doesn't allow gambling on in sports venues. They don't allow gambling and alcohol on sports, within sports facilities, which is very profound. That's a European country, which means there's something that they know about this. That
they may have seen it. They may have seen it in action.
Yes, they may have seen it in action to the point where they were like, Ikitu, we do not want this to affect our kids.
Yeah.
We don't care how much money it's bringing in.
Seen the effect in other countries. Yes. Like, we don't want that to be rolled into ours.
Yes.
We want our stuff pure and clean. Iende tu hivi. Ratiba ni hii.
Yes.
And if you can't stick with this, forget it. And those guys and their taxes, you don't mess with them.
Yeah, so let me read a few comments before we wrap up. Afro-Jamaican hapa kaizo, I know Moramuroke anasema quick money, quick loss. And then Afro-Jamaican says, people love quick money. I am addicted to monthly dividends. Good for you, Kaiser Soze. Nancy anasema, what would Dave Ramsey say? And then Kaiser Soze says again, gambling may be a symptom and not the issue. Morin Swahele ameingia akisema haya. Then anasema, we made money at first. Problem is, we reinvested in the name of upgrading and adding people. Maureen, tell us a bit more about this, because nyino mulikuja
sasa huyo anaingia
Maureen, just tuambie tu
20268345770.
yeah, kama
that'll be the last call.
20268345770, press star 5. Ama unaweza comment hapo tuambie,
yes,
like what really, because very early on, mimi niliingia
huyu wa LSA apige tu simu. We will wait for them.
Yes.
Huyu apige tu simu saa
yeah, because very early on mimi niliingia na nikaona watu ikitu
ni muhadhara
mtaoshwa
ni madhagodhanio.
Nyinyi mnakumbuka zile simu zilikuwa za video? Do you remember that one?
What, no. Video phones?
There were video phones, yes. Do you remember that one? There was one that was circulating that there were video phones where basically it was the same thing.
Yeah.
You are selling video phones.
Yeah.
To everybody. And the whole point of it is that they were trying to get this thing. They're like, this thing, first of all, if you buy one,
then
another one you send to Kenya.
Yeah.
Sasa huyu mtu nyi mtakuwa
and it was that time when video conferencing was a big deal.
Let me tell you, Maina. I'm telling you, this thing was very, very fun. In fact, I was like, Yani, you guys are actually swallowing this thing. And they were convinced. They're like, yeah, man, I'm making money on this thing. I'm selling. And those units were like about $400-500 each.
The allure of high returns. Is very enticing. It's very enticing, especially when you start seeing words like generational wealth being used. Ending the rat race. Like be your own boss. There's certain buzzwords that they like using.
Wait, Maureen. Yeah. So, okay, I commented a long post the first time you asked and even explained everything. I even showed the withdrawal process. 202-683-4570.
Press star 5
Maybe
to
she's
speak.
Shy.
Simple.
Yeah, Maureen, please call us. Please call us and tell us, because watu,
you're the last call so that we can wrap this up.
Watu wameoshwa. Like I know families that have lost more than $30,000, which is
and this is stronger than Omo with Powerful.
That's a lot of money.
Me hata nikilose like even $1,000 sometimes. Watch hata 1,000. Hata nikilose hata so. I'm feeling like, hey,
10 bob.
Yeah, so
mimi ni 10 bob. Mimi nikipoteza 10 bob, I'm sick.
Ali is worse than you.
Kwanza si you owe me money. Ama tuonge nyuma ya tent. Am I the one who owes you money?
Wewe unataka.
Wow.
Sasa inaweza mwaga, naweza mwaga.
Hapana, hiyo si mwage, acha tuonge nyuma ya tent.
And then is the one who brought this up.
Nilisahau, it's the other way around.
By the way, as we wait for as the other way around.
Nilisahau, it's the other way around, but hiyo hapo tuonge siku nyingine.
I'm waiting for that call to come through.
Yeah, 202-683-4570, press star 5 to speak.
202
sasa Maureen nataka tu type
4570.
Okay, wacha tumtypie Maureen. 202-683
if it's on Nini, it will
4570.
It will go away.
and then press *5. Sasa hata star iko wapi?
Hiyo hata ukiweka hiyo it will
It's okay.
quiet.
If akikuja, I'll just pick it up.
Okay.
What's our plan for, because exhaustion is on another level.
So here's what it is.
Yes.
Closing day ni leo unless if. So we will let our fans know. Otherwise,
Yes.
tunarudi
September 12th.
We'll come back. No, we'll come back after Labor Day.
Yes.
And after
September
after
12th.
Labor Day can be October.
September 12th. Oh yeah, it can be in
After
October.
Labor Day can be October. So all we're saying is that possibly this is our last show because we're taking a summer break and we're gonna come back. But if we will not have a show next week, we will let our fans know through our social media handles.
Yes. Yes.
So for all intents and purposes, at this point, this is our last show.
But there's a 50-50 chance we
there
might
is a
have an
possibility
episode next week.
Yes.
We may have a special closing day
special
Yes.
guest,
next week. And once we confirm, if we can confirm that, boom. If not, we will let you guys know that the One Mic Show is on summer break.
It is all dependent on ROI.
Yes.
ROI 730%.
Yes. Courtesy of our brother here. Ali.
Yes.
If he can deliver. If he can't deliver,
No,
then we just know is Bonoko.
mi nataka kumsikia Maureen, because I think it's
Huyu
important.
atapiga simu.
I've had a conversation with someone who, like,
Maureen apigi simu. I'm willing to bet.
I have
Yoni haram. How much are you willing to bet?
I had a conversation with someone who was na hivyo hivyo nikamwambia hii kitu it's a scam, but hivyo hivyo akaniambia hapana, wewe uelewi, let me just try, because part of the argument was like, oh, even in investments people lose, so it's okay if I lose. I'm like, there's a difference between a scam and losing an investment.
So what was
and
their
losing a
loss?
scam.
How much did they lose this one?
We have a caller.
Wacha tusikie
Uno
caller
momento.
kwanza.
Hold on. Let me make sure I get the right one. Hold on. Oh no, we have a caller.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a caller. I didn't say we have a caller.
That's fine. I know who it is.
1412. Thank you for calling the One Mic Show. Name and where you're calling from.
Welcome to the One Mic Show.
Hello.
Caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Just speak.
Hi, hello. This is Maureen Soheli. I'm calling from Washington.
Washington DC or Washington State?
It sounds like state.
Mbona Maureen amepotea tena?
I'm calling from Seattle. No, I'm here.
Okay.
No. Unajua unabehave kama bundles aziko, but it's okay. Sawa.
Okay. Aya, so Maureen, talk to us, like just tell us in your word about the LSSC.
About your scooter.
Your
Seattle. I said Seattle.
Seattle. Okay, Seattle.
Okay,
Seattle.
Okay, Sawa, Maureen, tell us about your experience with LSSC, like if you made money, like the withdrawal process you're talking about, because kuna, as you already know, like many Kenyans have lost tens of thousands of dollars, if not more. So Maureen, talk to us.
So like I said, I know I saw Ali's post a while back, maybe like a month ago, when he was talking about like, okay, guys, don't do this. This sounds like a scam. By that time, I was already in, and I had already made money since April.
Okay.
So myself, I had put in 2180, so 2,180, and I was able to make my money back in exactly 6 weeks just by getting back like $67.05 every day.
Okay. So
and then after that, so I made money, and my money came back. So, and then I started earning money. Then they started talking about, okay, guys, you need to like recruit people. So I started recruiting people. I'm like, okay, this thing is working. Like, I wasn't even embarrassed to even recruit my mom,
Okay.
So we put money, my mom and the first few people that joined me, the first 5 people, they made their money back.
Okay.
And they each put the 2180.
Okay.
So when you invite 5 people, you're promoted to manager, level 1. And when you're promoted to manager level 1, you immediately got some amount of money, which was $1,000. And then we were supposed to get paid about $5,000 on August 1st.
Okay.
For recruitment.
Okay.
So that's when everybody started going crazy. When they learned that, okay, if you invite people, 5 people, you can make this much money. You can withdraw even 10%, which is 500, which they gave me for bringing my 5 people in.
Okay.
So then those 5 people started bringing in more people now under their teams, under their names, to form a team of 5, you know? Because now at this point, you want to be a level 1 manager.
Yes.
So at that point, my mom became a level 1 manager. Another friend of mine I had recruited became a level 1 manager. And that pushed me to a level 2 manager.
Okay.
So I was able to get $5,000. But so far, $5,000 is what we were supposed to get on August 1st.
Yes.
Then they started doing this upgrading thing. And they were like, okay, guys, if you upgrade to the next level, which is now you're running the scooter, instead of investing $2,180, you're now investing $4,980 and making at least $331 because you get promoted to the next level. Like you skip a level and go to the next level, which was now A3 level. So I started making $331 a day. I was able to withdraw money for a while for the month of, so let's say maybe a month ago is when the withdrawals zilianza sasa kukata kutoka, you know?
Okay. Okay.
By that time, the people that had not withdrew the money, had not become managers yet, are the people now that lost.
Okay.
And by this time, so we were proving, okay, guys, we're making money. We're getting this $1,000. We're making $331 a day. I was able to make like quick, like maybe like 1,700 in 2 weeks, which I was able to withdraw. But now the problem, they came up with a promotion deal, and they're like, okay, the moment you put your money back and you invite your members to invite another 4 people now to make 5 people, it promotes you to the next level. Now at this point, they're selling even cars and giving out money, but the money is now coming to your LLC account,
to your wallet.
but we're not able to withdraw.
Okay.
Understand?
Nakuelewa. I'm still listening.
Yeah. So the people that joined last minute, under now my 5 people that I had, they are now the people that did not get their money back. And maybe the money that I had gotten back, the problem was I put my money back in the name of upgrading and recruiting other members. You see?
Wow. Okay.
So you're in that mode where you want to recruit more people because now you know the money has been coming in for 2 months, 3 months. Every week you're cashing out money. So you're like, this thing is definitely working, you know?
Wow.
Because I was able to put my money from Coinbase to my bank account. I even posted receipts on one of Ali's posts hapo kwa Facebook.
Yes, you did. Now, Maureen, what I'm trying to understand, you joined back in April. You joined the LSSC back in April.
April, yes.
And you put in a certain amount between April
2180
all the way, and you kept adding, as you kept adding members, that you've recruited, and you kept adding money to a certain point. So these withdrawals that you're making between April and before August, so the withdrawals were actually working. So the money was going to your bank account. Unaweza kuona pesa imeingia kwa bank account.
Directly, yes. To the point where I was paying my car note with that money. Why lie?
Okay. And how much money did you put in, and how much made it to your bank account? If you look at through that whole period, now what you put in from your money into the wallet, and how much between April to before they stopped the withdrawals. So how much did you put in and how
So
much
now
did you
August
pull
1st.
out? Yes.
So I'll break it down this way. I put in 2,180, Cindy.
Yes.
So within 6 weeks, which is now like mid-May,
Yes.
I had gotten my 2180 back that nilikuwa nimeweka, that I had put in.
Okay.
So with that 2180, that money I never put it back to LSSC. That money I was like, okay, now this is my investment. My money is back.
Okay.
So this is now my money. Nikarudisha pesa yangu.
Okay.
And from there on, I never upgraded or did anything for a while because I wanted to see how this thing is going before I even tell like my mom or anybody else. So the
Okay.
whole of May, I was just clocking in and out of the scooter.
What do you mean
So
by
then in
clocking in and
June,
out of the
it's
scooter?
when you clock in, like on the app, you run the scooter for 4 hours.
Huh?
What exactly is that?
Allah?
It's a virtual scooter.
May us understand.
Atia, tashokera, rudisha.
Scooters zinakimbia.
Is it real scooters ama ni computer games mnacheza?
No, it's real scooters. Like even when you go on the app, I wish there was a way to show you because I have access to the app mpaka saizi.
Okay.
This app shows you like the scooters, and it's like you punch into work for 4 hours every day.
Wow.
You punch in, and then it tells you the number of scooters have started running. And after 4 hours, you go back and click the other orange button. Ya kusasa clock out. Once you clock out, you press receive your income. And the income goes to your profit of the day. Your profit of the day, you make it, you withdraw it after a while, after maybe like a week. That's what most of
Okay.
us used to do.
Okay.
So we would clock in Monday through Friday. Then on Friday, you send your money now to the withdrawal process through Coinbase.
Okay.
And then now by Wednesday, Coinbase has processed your money to your bank account. And then on Wednesday, we would get our money to our banks.
Wow. So
So
those of
Sasa,
you,
now you see,
yeah.
this is the thing though.
Mhm.
So when people are joining, you cannot join with cash money. So I'll send you the link. Let's say Ali, you want to join.
Yeah.
I send you the link,
Yeah.
and then you have to join using cryptocurrency. So
Un-
we were using a network
Untraceable.
called
Untraceable.
USDC Polygon. Those people who trade, they know.
Untraceable.
So basically una move pesa yako kutoka your bank account into the cryptocurrency wallet, and then from the cryptocurrency wallet.
No, basically,
Yeah.
tunaiacha ikae kwa Coinbase. We let it stay in the Coinbase.
Mhm.
So maybe after I withdrew my 2180 to the bank, I used to let my money stay on Coinbase. Because if I find someone to recruit, they need this cryptocurrency in my Coinbase. And then they send me the Zelle amount. Alafu mimi nawarushia hiyo in crypto to their LSSC account, and now they can start running. You get?
My goodness.
So even so
Yes.
this Maureen ndio sasa alikuwa recruiter mwenyewe.
No, no.
Anacheza
Yes,
karata hapa
I
na
recruited people.
digital.
I have 20 people under my team up to today.
Now the 20 people under your team,
20 times
wa-
2180.
were they all able to withdraw their money, or are there some who are now caught in this quagmire?
No, that's what I was trying to explain. So my first 5 people were able to withdraw money because now this is back, we're talking about back in May
Yes.
when I started like recruiting people. First, I recruited my 5 people and I got promoted to manager level 1 and I got my 1500 and I withdrew that 1500, but I let it sit in my Coinbase. And then now the problem ilifika. I started recruiting now people back home in Kenya.
Ooh,
People
okay.
in Kenya, they use a different network. They use Binance currency.
Binance ndo ile ya some
So
bank
when
man
somebody-
freed. Ama hiyo nyingine.
Binance sasa ni TRC20, which is Binance because they cannot use USDC
Okay, okay,
network.
okay.
Yeah, you get.
Yes.
So, like, let's say I recruited my sister. So I put in the 960 for her. This is the 960 now that I've made for 2 weeks. So you
Okay.
know, I lost that 960 because she never got her money back. because now she joined in July.
But now when you recruited your sister, isn't your sister supposed to send you a Zelle ama an M-Pesa? Ama you are doing it as a family?
Boss, see, that was
Yeah,
a family
that was a family
investment.
deal.
Yeah.
Yes, because remember, she was
So
cooling
the
her
deal
profit.
was,
Yeah.
most people, they would tell you, when I get my 960 back, I'm sending you the Zelle money. Unaona?
Oh,
So that was the deal.
okay.
Ule
Okay.
mtu ana pesa, and since you want to get to this level 1 manager with 5 people,
Yeah.
you'd rather utole mtu pesa, you get that 1,500, and then these people, in the name that they are going to pay you back in a week or 2, you know?
Wow.
But then now, even before some people got paid back, is when everything shut down. Tukashindwa withdraw. Like
Okay.
my account had so much money. If I showed you guys that I'm tashtuka.
Oh my goodness. Sasa yani ungekuwa
How much?
you would
Just
have been
how much?
you would have been finishing in poverty for all
Me,
of us.
How much?
I had even I had one even a Tesla.
A Tesla.
Eh?
Wait.
Yeah.
So-
so
kuna
remember she
hizo,
said she was getting
kuna
cars.
hizo-
Yeah.
kuna hizo, like every day you join meetings, and then there's raffle games. You play, you spin the wheel, you win a microwave, you win a fridge, TV. The highest thing you would win was a car.
So
They
did
used
you
to talk about houses, but sikuona mtu amewin nyumba.
get a
But
Tesla?
mine, I won a Tesla.
Did
but
you get
the
it?
second
The
day
Tesla is
after
in our
that
wallet.
was when everything went crashing down. They had sent 80K to my account, USDC.
Now in your LSSC account, not in your Coinbase account.
Yes, in my LSSC account, and then first after that is when I wasn't able to withdraw. So, first to answer your question, yes, I got my 2180 back.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment I started earning money, I started now bringing more people in. Because
Yes.
remember, August 1st was the day most people wanted. You had to be a level 1, 2, 3, 4 manager up to level 8. So you were striving to be a manager so you can make this. If you're level 1 manager, you would make 5K. Level 2 manager, you would make 10K. So most people didn't even care. Unasema, okay, I'll put in the 960 for you. I'm at 2180 because you are running for this now 10K, 15K on August 1st. You see?
Yes. So
So
now
that's how most people lost money.
so now sasa wewe pia ulibakia umetolea a couple of people money, but now because the money has
during-
not come back.
Yeah, during the upgrading period, we had 3 days. We are being told upgrade. When you upgrade, you become this. You instead of being a 2 level, you'll be bumped to the next level. You'll be making 331 instead of 67 a day. So you see the money coming in
Yeah.
to your LSSC account, and so you're bringing more people in. And for me, I used to find people that want to join, and then I put them under now my 5 people. So those 5 people can become managers. Then they can promote me to the next level manager.
Yeah, what, Danny?
So now, how much money do you have pending that you had paid for people that you haven't got back because they were not able to withdraw? So how much do you approximate that is?
So there was 960 2 times and 2180 once.
So
So
basically
let's say
4K.
what, like 5K.
5K. Kaifafa.
Yeah.
So 5K. So now your 5K is being held somewhere. Those people are waiting until that
Imeenda.
withdrawal process.
Imeenda.
That's when they're gonna
plus
pay you.
meanwhile,
Yeah,
they owe her
yeah.
80K under Tesla.
But also don't forget.
Yeah.
Oh,
don't
plus a
forget,
Tesla.
I was able to withdraw quite a bit before that. So really, I'm not at a loss, but I did not gain much, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Now,
Shows
So
the
Maureen.
if I would have stuck with the point where nilimeki pesa and I did not recruit more people or upgrade ama kutolea watu pesa, I would have made money and settled at that.
Okay, Maureen. Kwanza, first of all, thank you so much because this thing, there was no clarity. There were the people who are inside, ambao some who made money a few, wengi wameoshwa, and then there are the people who are outside. And I don't think we've had a session very candidly where someone was very honest and told us this is what was happening. And I think this goes back to that discussion I was having with Uno earlier. A lot of people, I know a lot of people who got into this are good people who just saw it as an opportunity because the money was going to the account. Hii pesa ilikuwa inafika mpaka kwa account. So this was a very well designed well designed scheme. And the reason why some of us were able to pick on it even while knowing that people are making money and even seeing receipts is because some of us have, you know, like we've worked in banks, we know exactly how these things work. The first few people are gonna make money. They're gonna have these schemes for you to lure more people, and then once watu wengi wameingia, once they get into a critical mass, that's when they fold it up. And I guess that's where this happened. But now here's my question, Maureen. How are you guys dealing with wale watu ambao muliwa recruit, anakuja na kuambia Maureen, wendo ulini recruit, nimeoshwa $10,000.
Nimeoshwa na Omo na Powerform. Imetoa madawa yote.
So how are you dealing with that, in that niwe Maureen ulikuja ukani recruit, mi kitu nilikuwa sijui, because I'm sure out of those 20 people you've recruited, I'm sure there are some who are calling you and telling you Maureen niaje.
Just let me tell you the surprising thing. Funny enough, I knew this thing was a Ponzi from the beginning. But to tell people, it's a Ponzi, but it's working for your size. We make this money before Yanguke. Those were my exact words.
So
people knew we were taking a risk.
Hey, wait a minute.
Maureen, we need to fly you in. I think
tunafaa kukuleta
I'm
kwa
not
studio
kidding,
now.
I'm for real.
I like your honesty. I love your honesty.
Yani alijua hii ni story ya jaba, lakini
I
kila
love
mtu
your honesty.
akule ile
Alienda nayo.
we kule ile veve unaweza kula sahihi.
But sasa Maureen, surely
Sasa utakujiwa sasa.
Sasa kama ulikuwa unajua hiki tu ni Ponzi, you know, like from the beginning,
she didn't hide it.
Weren't you concerned that yes, I might make some money out of it, but weren't you concerned some of the people who I'm gonna recruit are gonna get hurt? Weren't you concerned about that at some point?
I was, but at the same time, I was very honest, and I was rushing people. I was telling them, Indian is easy, because people would tell me, oh, what's an ingoje 2 weeks, nini. I'm like, okay, who knows, kama iki to India size, so you can make your money back in 2 weeks. But I'll be honest, so when my mom joined, a friend of hers joined, and she lost very big time.
What is big time?
So my mom paid her 50%.
Oh, so your mom had to pay her out of pocket.
80. So my mom decided, they came to terms and they decided, okay, I'll pay you half.
So wait, how much did your mom's friend lose?
2180. She never got back. She had just joined right before the whole thing crashed.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
and your mom was nice enough to give her half of it. Your mom was nice.
Yeah. My mom was nice. And then don't forget now, these people, they're not directly under me, these 20 people. You get? So I have my 5 people. Okay. And then these 5 people have their people that they brought. Akileta mtu mmoja, my team size goes up.
But now those are not your people directly.
No. They were not even, most of, my 5 people I know, they're my close people, family members. And which these 5 people that I brought in, thankfully, they made their money back, most of them.
Okay.
But sasa shida ni, these 5 people, the other now, it's like a branch. The other people that they brought in later on, they're the ones who lost. But since I was the main person inviting them, your team size goes up. So tuseme, Ali, if I invite you, invite someone else, my team size will be 3, yours will be 1. Because I've invited you, na umeinvite mtu mwingine.
Okay. So I get it.
So that's why I ended up with 20 people. So I don't have 20 people coming from me, thank God. So
you have those people you directly invited.
Her 5.
Your 5.
But her 5, she told them.
But guess what?
Yes.
These people, thank God, they are aware kwamba in fact, at our India, they were 50-50. They kind of knew, honestly.
So Apa Maureen, I mean, I don't know how to ask you this question.
Scarly, what are you scared? See, Morina amejitoa.
Uliza.
Because unajua sasa we unajua hii ni mali ya wizi. Unajua
Yes.
ukiingia. Lakini unasema because makarao wako karibu, hata tuchukue haraka lakini wewe ukishikwa uko peke yako.
Liwe liwalo.
You know that's a part.
Not like that. That's not how I would see it, though.
How do you see it?
The way I see it, it's like an investment. You put your money. The other people, they try to build you up. You hurry up, you get the money. When you ataingia huko hivyo mwisho, sasa I don't know what to tell them.
Wataoshwa.
Is the problem.
I guess her thing was like,
Wow.
it's an investment. You either make money or you lose money. But I'm letting you know there's a possibility
Because
you can lose money.
guess what?
Yeah.
Like, why would I even bring my own sister and my mom into this, knowing that kwamba mtu ataoshwa?
No, but you said you knew it was a Ponzi scheme. And Ponzi scheme, watu wa
Yeah.
wanaoshwa.
But sasa hivyo vile unaniuliza,
Yeah.
is like, mimi I knew I'm bringing my close people into this thing. But ukisema ati sasa hii ni mali ya wizi, like I would not bring my own family. No, mimi nilikuwa najua sasa hapa tunaingia, we make our money back. Number one goal was to refund your money first that you invested.
Yeah. Okay.
The rest ilikuwa sasa hiyo ni kubahatisha. But unfortunately we didn't even get we have like what? Like 8 people that did not get their money back out of those 20.
So almost half did not get their money
So
back.
That's
Yeah.
about,
They lost some
about
money.
18,000. That's about $18,000.
Okay.
It's 2180 times 8.
Yes. So.
No, some people wameingia na 960 ile the lowest level.
Oh, okay.
Kuna some people walikuwa wameingia na 960 hata like ukiweka mtu like when someone like you're trying to recruit someone in Kenya and they don't have money, unawaekea 960 kwanza, you see if they can get their money back, they pay you back, then they start building now themselves from there. That was the whole thing. And there's actually another like route that was sasa ya trade, which I was also in trading, but sikuweka pesa. But this is when our people lost a lot of money. Because sasa, trading, you would get into this thing, unaweka ilikuwa inaitwa lightning, what was it?
Lightning scooter.
There was a trading, no, in LSSC, there was another app called lightning loop or something, where you would go in and put your money, like 300 to begin with was the minimum, and then they would instantly put $3,000 for you to trade.
So ni kama wanakupatia loan.
300 to trade.
Yeah. So hiyo 3,000 wanakupatia trade. You now start trading with it.
Now they opened a WhatsApp group, and they would send signals. Watu wenye sasa wanajua mambo ya kutrade, they would send signals every day at exactly 6:30 p.m. kwenye huko.
Wow.
They tell you buy up, buy down. Crypto is now, BTC is up, it's down by 2%. Click that. No, these people, they made money, but now their problem is they kept adding more money because this was an even faster way than the scooter ya kutengeneza pesa.
Wow.
And the same way, you were drawing the same way through Coinbase in a car, then you take it to your bank?
Yes, through Coinbase. Yeah. So mimi hiyo ya kutrade, I never quite understood it, so I never really I lost my 300 there because once you stop trading, hiyo 3,000 ulipewa. This guy, huyu Francois ama Francois, what wanamuitamaka Francois, was giving you 3,000 to trade for 3 days. And then akiona you're not trading, he takes away his 3,000, then you're left with your 300 that you put in.
Okay, but at least you can get your 300 back.
You cannot, because you cannot withdraw less than that 300. There was a limit. You had to trade. You had to add more money. That was the catch. You had to make it 1,000 so you can be able to continue trading.
Maze, so wherever Francois is, amekalia tu pesa za watu, anazikula tu polepole wherever he is.
So basically at this point, Maureen, your own wallet yako iko na 80k na Tesla?
No, 107k.
Wololo yeah. So you're 1,000 there. Hey.
You're 100,000 there.
Yes.
Because I had 80. I had like 20 something before the Tesla 80k could.
Oh, okay, understood. So when they give you the car,
this guy is communicating to everybody. Like unatuma message, response, boom, boom, boom. There's millions of people asking questions, but they get responses quickly.
Yeah.
I started making a joke sometimes. I'm like, this is like AI. Like, come on, this cannot be a whole human being doing all this.
It's an AI chatbot. It's a chatbot.
So 𝘑𝘰𝘓 was, were you to get the equivalent of the vehicle, or you were to get the vehicle, or nobody ever got a car?
So let me tell you, the first people, there were some Africans like Congolese, Ghana, Nanini. This thing they joined in like back in January. So like Washington, Seattle, we had a rep that they used to show us. Kila has won a Toyota. She's in the dealership. Nini. She's driving out with a Toyota. So they're trying to make you believe this thing is real, kabisa. But mind you, this person joined in January, but come to find out, these people play mind games, like real mind games when I tell you. So you make your money, yes, and then they pull that money away from you somehow. They tell you, okay, do this, invest this. They give you a car. Gari unashtukia gari ni kama 20k. But don't forget, you went back and invested 30k and upgraded, and you've traded, you've done what, So they would use this one image ya hii gari wamepea mtu back in January to now lure people in Washington, talking about, this is your manager has won a car. It's possible to win these cars. Yeah, we had a group chat where they would post these things in a bond chat.
So it wasn't even WhatsApp?
No, it's bond chat, and you can't even find it kwa app. So you have to go, if you download this thing, your iPhone is gonna ask you, "Are you sure you're trying to download this thing?"
Wow, Maureen, I really appreciate.
Maureen.
Baka, if us guys were rich, if we had that 107,000, we would fly you here just for you to come and sit.
And then you show us that
and talk to us, because and this is what like I was saying, people are getting into this very innocently.
Yeah, correct.
But not knowing, like the consequences. Not necessarily not knowing, but kila mtu anajua, mimi niko among the first people. Wacha nichukue pesa faster before ikitu ianguke. Yeah. So it's something you go in knowing. Okay. And no guilt about it.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how things went down in LSSC. So and then they came up with this thing where the accounts was needing to be verified. Now this is the point where they were asking people to put money back into the account. So let's say you're a level A1, A2, A3. Now this is the levels of Skura depending on how much you may put down. Like 960 was B3, 2180 was A1, Evo 4980 was A2. So they started saying, so August 1st, when it came now for us managers to receive now our, $10,000 in the Teslas, they decided we need to verify this account because there's been fake accounts. And the only way to verify is to put 10% back of your level. So I went ahead and upgraded. So now I have to put in what? 10% of 4980, 498.
Wow. Did you do that?
No.
Okay. Do you know
That's
people
when
who
you know
did that?
now it's dead, Sasa. Why are they asking you to put money back?
But do you know people who
In the
put
name of
money back
verification.
for verification? Do you know people who put money back for verification to get their money?
People have verified. There's a whole group with thousands of people have verified. Yes.
And none of them has gotten their money back.
Nope. Nai ilianza. So verification is supposed to be completed on the 9th. I guess we'll see how it goes tomorrow and the next day.
Wow. Okay. Aya, sawa sawa.
Yeah.
Maureen, thank you so much.
I think we need her to give us an update as things go along.
Yes, we stay in touch with us. We need updates because watu wanalia huku, watu wameumia. People have lost so much money. I don't know, like whether you know me. People have come to my inbox.
I do. Yeah, I do.
So
yeah, I really do.
Yeah, so I think we'll need you. Maybe one day we'll even do a video, like a video show with you. Because I think people need to understand the consequences when they get into these platforms because Kenyans are getting into them so much. And Kenya is a target. Yeah, Kenya is a very big target market. So asanti sana, but me ushauri wangu kwako before I go, achana na Ponzi scheme. That's just my advice to you.
But yeah, she knew what it was. She knew what it was.
Nimesema achana na Ponzi scheme.
But she knew what it was.
Oh, achana Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
So Sata size is another one that came up in Nato Andes. Now people are running there to make their money back. It's like a disease, by the way. Me, I cannot go there anymore. Me, this was my first and last.
Inaitwa nini? Ati Andres.
Inaitwa Andes. ANDES.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, but we umepata funzo lako. On this one, you're not going to go into
You've been disciplined enough.
No. I cannot. Okay. I feel bad for most of the... I don't even feel bad for myself because, honestly, I got my 2180 back in the beginning. My problem is people that I added, that went ahead and added more people, and then the thing shut down in 2 days. Yani people have not even learned how to even connect your USDC account, your Coinbase to your
and
bank.
Get your 4 hours.
Then it's in a
your 4 hours on the bike.
Una clock in. Una clock in 4 hours, then unakuta
at $25 an hour. That's they should have been paying you $100.
Yeah.
Okay. Aya, asante sana. Once again, thank you so much, Maureen. We appreciate you. I think this was our highlight for the night.
It was.
We did not expect this.
Really?
Oh no, we did not.
No, totally.
But this so happened in your Facebook. I'm like, I'm at least still talking about LSSC.
No, because of zile messages tumepokea, man, watu wame lose pesa wengi sana. So anyway, thank you so much. I think this is a good lesson. Let's consider the money lost school fees, but tuachane na hizi Ponzi scheme. Thank you so much, Maureen.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Aya. Okay. That was Maureen from Washington State. That is one true People's Kamkunji story. What? You can only get that on the people. This is the true People's Kamkunji.
You are the last party in the
Yeah, so Lauren wanted to call. I think Uno ulimwekea number wrong.
Uyo?
Ulimwekea, you put a wrong number. I'm looking at the number that you, because I think
202-683-4570. That's the number.
Yeah, kuna 4750. It's 202-683-4570. Press *5. We'll give you some 5 minutes where we now have to...
What is the number posted?
4750. But it's supposed to be 4570. So it's 202-683-4570.
What's the number?
The number that was posted, not to confuse, Lauren, the correct number is 202-683-4570, but the number posted is 4750. Yeah. But...
whoa.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, so now I posted the correct one, yeah. So
somebody posted. I posted the wrong number?
Yeah, so Lauren 202-683
and Asamaki phone is not going through.
4570 because she's calling 475. That's why it's not going through. It is 4570.
Say it slowly in English.
202-683-4570.
Okay, 4750.
That's 202-683-483-457.
That's supposed to be slower.
That's supposed to be easier. 202 683
This guy of Nairobi West,
4570. Press star 5 to speak. Anyway, if we don't get a call,
Yani,
I think
mpaka tachana mukuongea. Mwenye umweka hapa LSSC. Atu kutoka LSSC.
No, I know. You know, like that's one of those gems, and I like Maureen's honesty, because
she's overly honest.
because it's a reflection of what happens. So uno Mike, Maureen si ati ni mtu ambaye hana financial literacy, and I think that's what I was trying to explain to you, and I think it has displayed itself. It has demonstrated itself that why people join these groups, because wanajua kuna do hapa ya watu kuingiza haraka upesi, and then after that nitatoka. Again, 202-683-4570, press star 5. Uno Mike is ebu angalia kama nani yuko hapo. If not, then we can.
Thank you for calling the One Mic Show. 1369. 1369.
Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hi. Huyu ni Lorraine. Sasa mmetoka kwa Maureen mko kwa Lorraine.
Na hiyo rhyme, na rhyme.
No, they sound alike even. Ebu laugh.
Do you guys know each other? Aliku recruit?
Aku ni recruit. Sasa mimi niko on the opposite side of the thing. Maureen ni wa kuingia ndani. Mimi ni wale tunakaa nje kidogo.
Okay. Haya. Tell us where ulika nje. How did you miss out? How did you miss out on these massive returns?
Wacheni niwafurahishe. So, mimi nilikuwa church one day, and then, but I'm calling from Houston. I'm the one and only Lorraine Kambi from Houston. Natuko wengi mimi tu.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
church.
Anyway, I was at church. Then my church member named Congolese akakuja after church akaniambia, baby, umesikia hii story ya scooters? And I was like, scooters gani hizo? Akaniambia, watu wanatengeneza pesa hapo kwa scooters online and everything. So I was like, okay, if people are making money, I would like to see the scooter. Iko aje, inakaaje, product yenyewe inakaaje. Akaanza zile za, hiyo sasa ziko online. Ikaniambia basi sample yenyewe iko wapi? I don't understand. Akaniambia ukinileta, uleta watu wengine hata hapa kanisani, tuta we'll build money. And I was like, ikitu ni fishy. So I started researching myself, nikaona nimesikianga story kama hizi before. There was something similar like this before. So I tried to tell my church member, and ali recruit hapo watu kanisa, baby. That is the sad part. Walitafuta the leaders, and he's a church leader. I hate to say that. Walitafuta ma church leaders, wana recruit watu kanisa. Hata mwingine akanikujia, niambia, kuja utaki kutengeneza pesa, ukilala tu pesa zinatengenezwa. So for me, my biggest issue was the fact that there was no product. And I'm like, how do you join this thing? At least do you unatumia link or something like that? I was like, I think I've seen enough Ponzi schemes. I even told him, nikamwambia wewe, kitakulamba yani, utalia. Akaniambia fana, next thing you know, amekuja na gari. Unaona hiyo gari Maureen alikuwa anasema? Tesla. He came with the gari ati, hii gari imenini, mpaka kaambia father bless my car. Tuko hapo sote tunaangalia gari inakuwa blessed,
Wow.
So, he got quite a bit of people, because now people are seeing gari ndio ile imepakiwa pale nje, ni mpya kabisa na gari poa. It was like a nice caravan hivi, but inafanywa blessings. But for me, I have a very strong instinct. Mimi ni watu wale, I can feel evilness, hata energy ya mtu ikiwa wrong, kitu ikiwa wrong. Something in me, my gut feeling, and the fact that akukuwa na product ya kuoneshana why and how is it so easy to make money with an invisible scooter. It's not clear. Then you have to recruit people to do nini. So for me, I was like, hapana. Wacha nikwambie sasa hii kimewalamba. Niliona tu walikuwa kwa meeting ilipost yangu hapo online. Hata walikuwa viral wao hiyo group yao. And I was like, thank God I didn't join. But I feel bad for people who lost money, especially watu wa kanisa, because they targeted people who are very influential. Watu wanajua kuongea, So maybe it was more of a gut feeling, and the fact that I've seen this Ponzi scheme so many times come up and it falls down all the time. So yeah, that's it. Okay. So I'm Lorraine on the opposite side. Missy could join.
Okay, Lorraine on the opposite side. Asante sana. But real quick, Lorraine, before we let you go, is there any accountability? Because the people who are recruiting people like especially kama inatoka kanisani, you know, like an institution of authority, is there any accountability in as far as like the people who introduced this, now that there are so many people who've lost money?
So nimekuwa nikisikia story. So this is the thing. Personally, I'm not gonna lie, I did snitch. I went to the priest and I told the priest, hey, hii kitu sioni ikiwa sawa. Nikasema hii kitu ipasi kuwa associated. Akasema iko associated na kanisa, huyu anafanya vitu zake individually. He just asked me to bless the van, and nika bless van, unaona. So that's something totally different. So I was like, okay, it's not connected. Akaniambia atajaribu kumwongelesha, but huwezi kufanya mtu mzima asifanye kitu. So accountability wise, vile kitu nimenotice watu wanamtafuta sana na ni kama amedisappear kidogo. So hapo sijajua kumemalizika aje, you know. So but it's pretty sad, honestly, because I've seen people who have lost a lot of money, and honestly wana target foreigners. Nimeona sana hata wakimbizi, Rwandese, Congolese, Kenyans too, but generally foreigners na people influential kujoin. So accountability hapo sasa sijui itakuwaje mwisho, but naona wana disappear kidogo. So I don't know what will happen. Watu tu watalia labda.
Okay. You know, 𝘍𝘐 asante sana. You know, like we appreciate you calling in late. Ni watu mbona wampigagi simu mapema? Mnangoja mpaka show imeenda overtime.
She's on Texas time.
Yeah? Oh, you're on Texas time?
Watu privileged.
Niko Texas time na nilikuwa job.
Okay. Okay, sawa. But thank you so much. And we appreciate, we hope this information will help people make good decisions in future. Asante sana Lorraine. Ile siku takuja DMV, just let us know. Tutakuleta hapa uonge na sisi.
Sawa, kuna shida. Thank you guys for always bringing all this news. Na alifanya ile kitu because you posted it on your page. I was so happy when you posted it on your page because you started creating awareness mapema on your Facebook. But watu wakusikia.
Watu wakusikia because there was a lure to those high returns. And that's why I say, you know, like that allure sometimes is what will take people to their graves. And yeah, you know, like just be satisfied with modest returns from index funds. Keep there long enough and you'll be okay. Haya, sawa.
Thank you. Is it? No, Lorraine.
Ni Lorraine Kagwi.
No.
Uni Lorraine.
Vile mlisikia vile sema. Umetoka Maureen, mnaingia Lorraine.
Lorraine, okay.
Haro.
Haya, sawa.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Wahenga walinena.
You are the last party in the conference.
Wahenga walinena. Hold on, let me get my video right over here because it's not even acting right over here because it's a long day. Alafu walianza kufanya maneno. Wahenga walinena kilicho na mwanzo hakina budi kuwa na mwisho, meli imetia nanga. We are about to wrap this puppy up. 𝘍𝘢𝘕 𝘓𝘍𝑚𝑒𝑟𝑎 what is password?
Hey, Yani, this was supposed to be a condensed show.
2-hour show.
We were supposed to be doing random.
Kimenyi.
Then Kimenyi came with his own things
and
threw us off. Kabisa. And then he recruited people like LSSC and they came in here and just threw the whole show off.
And by the way, on both sides of the aisle, pro
and against.
But anyway, to our listeners,
it is what it is.
Yes. Thank you as always for coming through, for spending your time with us, spending your weekends, or should I say the beginning of your weekends with us. If we do not have a special show next weekend, we will see you guys after Labor Day. So have a good rest of your summer. I know this is the beginning of the summer for some. Otherwise, we will let you guys know on our social media handles. Enjoy. Be careful with your monies, your financial decisions, and enjoy the rest of your summer. I will see you.
Okay, asante sana DJ 𝘍𝘢𝘕. I want to thank all those who are tuned in. Gypsy Corner pale YouTube. Man, you are keeping us on our toes. Thank you so much for
Gypsy
all those
Corner maze huyo ni teke.
I love that. We love that Gypsy Corner. Thank you so much. Wairimu N, asante sana. Kulikuwa na Bakora pia. Thank you so much. And people who are tuned in on Facebook, asanteni sana. Afro Jamaican, DJ Tucha and all the rest. And of course, Maureen. Oh my goodness, Maureen, we really appreciate
honesty, man.
We appreciate the honesty, you know, and that's a mantra of the people's camp. Hakuna judgment hapa, you know.
Never.
Like, we disagree with what you did, but we like the honesty because we think this honesty might be of help to someone else. Uliingia with ambitions of glory, wallet ikafika 107,000 knowingly, you know, like very,
so alikuwa na financial literacy.
Yes, so nakwambia sometimes the lure is sometimes very strong. 107,000 kwa wallet plus a Tesla, that's very alluring. But we like the fact that amesema, you know, like she's seen it and she's not joining any other new ones. And then 𝘍𝘐𝘈 on the opposite side, thank you so much for your perspectives. Places of trust, places kama kanisa is where people are being recruited
Kwanza hao
in these schemes. I think the people who are leading these institutions, be they the preachers, pastors, or whoever it is, need to be a bit more forceful on not allowing, you know, like people to come in with such schemes in their places of worship, because kanisa is a place of worship and people are trusting, and it's very easy to get people deceived or duped when these things happen. So I think churches maybe need to be a bit more forceful on not allowing these people who come with this, especially the get-rich-quick schemes. So, Lauren, asante sana. Maureen, thank you very much. I think you seem to understand hizi vitu sana. So I think we need you maybe on an episode to help people understand red flags to look out for. Because the people who've been inside fully understand, especially because vile Maureen amesema, she got in knowingly and even recruited members of the family. Yeah. So I think it's sometimes good to get people from the inside to help people understand the red flags when they see them. Na kwa hayo machache, yeyote ambaye anataka kunipigia simu, nambari yangu bado ni ile 1-800 mteule. Na operator akishika simu, mwambie unataka kusema na mjukuu, na akikuuliza ni mjukuu yupi, mkumbushe mjukuu ni yule wa Masai, because I'm Kenyan by blood, American by design, Masai by choice. Sichagui, sikagui na sibagui. Kwaherini.
Until the next time, be blessed.
Awe ni pick ni wazing or full buda Tembogi ikija kumafala wanaburuka Ni warena, shinda kuka Nuclear, zimelipuka Pick ni wazing or full buda Tembogi ikija kumafala